You never see that kid, Mommy, how come the balloon is so, it goes high? Like, I think sometimes, like, your parents must be like, oh my God, another fucking stupid question. Like, I wonder how many parents are just like, oh my God, shut up.
I'm sure all of them.
Shut the fuck up.
It's coming, man.
It's coming. It's coming.
Your kid's gonna ask you a dumb question when they get
It's-
there. Jesus Christ.
It's one question. It's why?
How come the sun is only out for a little bit? Oh, well, because it becomes night. Why? And welcome back to Beyond the Bench, episode 79, the podcast about everything and absolutely nothing. April 18th, 2021. Josh, Justin, I'm yelling hardcore in this mic right now. Jesus Christ. It's a beautiful day outside.
It got beautiful, though.
It got beautiful. It was ugly in the morning and it got beautifuler as the day went on. A couple of special guests in the house. If you haven't already noticed it, we have, I think we'll start off with the man to Justin's right. We have a man by the name of David, the Wavid.
Yeah.
Say hello to the ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen of BTB, it's a pleasure, an honor, a privilege. Justin, Josh, Leo,
I was like, wait a minute.
Leo, everyone that was here before. It's an honor. It's a privilege. I can't wait to just get the show on the road, just get to talking and shooting the shits with you guys, man.
That's it. Good stuff.
And last but not least, we have another special guest, a husband, a father,
Who?
a diversified sales representative since the year 2003. The man who my father let drive the car before he let me drive it.
It's true.
One of my oldest friends, Lorenzo Todaro, ladies and gentlemen.
Aye, aye.
What's up, boys? How you feeling?
Good.
Good,
It's time
good.
for the drum, by the way. It's time.
Time.
It's time.
I think
Come
it's
on.
time.
Justin
I think it's
didn't
time.
waste any time here.
Zero time
Right
wasted.
away, right away.
Zero
We're
time
doing
wasted.
good. BTB.
Yeah. And that's it, guys.
I
Listen.
think to be honest with you, that's one of like the longest lasting memories that I have of my childhood is my dad letting Lorenzo drive the
Yeah.
car before he let me drive
You've
the car.
you've been on this pod in spirit. Not in spirit. Sounds like he's dead. More like you know, just part of
He's
it.
very-
True story.
Are you referring to the cake on the wall story?
There's that. There's the
okay.
driving the thing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
just a bunch
Yeah,
of them. You're
so-
always just present.
There's a lot of stories that we're gonna get into very, very deeply into this podcast. Yeah, I always remember that though. Like it was what was it? It was the red pickup, right?
No, it was the minivan.
No,
Minivan.
it was the red. It was the red pickup that he let you drive first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've known Lorenzo anyway for a long time, and the classic thing was no matter how mad and I guess like any other person with an immigrant father can kind of attest to this, no matter how mad my dad would get at me for whatever it is, I could have murdered somebody, dude, and he could be like raining me out in the house. If Lorenzo would walk in through the door, the anger would just dissipate instantly.
He loves you, eh?
I think he loves me more than he loves Josh.
Yeah, honestly, I grew up for a long time thinking that, Lorenzo, what's happening, bro?
There's always that one
Yeah.
friend that
Yeah.
your parents vibe with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And when they vibe with them, they'll give them the world. And even if they did something wrong, they'll scream at you.
Yeah.
They'll scream at you and they'll say, "What are you doing?" It was you. No, but it was Lorenzo. Lorenzo's a good guy.
Yeah,
So
he's a good kid.
Your father always gave Lorenzo a pass down. I remember.
But you know
Yeah,
what? You know what that stems from? I feel like it's like, because obviously your son is your son, right? Like your kid is your kid, and so you have unconditional love for your children, and then that love, I feel like, extends afterwards to the people that they love themselves. You know,
yeah.
so as they grow up and they make their best friends, these are the people that they would do anything for. So in turn, this is the person that your son, who you love unconditionally, loves. So now you build this love for this person. You know what I mean? And my parents to this day look at Lorenzo. And like, I'm sure you know this, they look at Lorenzo like as a second son, you know what I mean? Like they came to your wedding,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we FaceTime when you had your kid, you know, like it was,
I'd come over and eat over at your house like pretty much almost every day as a kid.
yeah.
Well, like pretty much.
And it happened because I used to live farther away actually. And then when I moved closer, when did we
Where the
become
fuck did you
friends?
live?
Well,
Well, like further east.
You moved.
Yeah. When I was younger, I moved.
How old were you?
What was I? In like 5th grade, I think.
I don't know this about you. What the fuck?
don't
Yeah,
remember.
I moved.
That's
Did
crazy.
you ever move?
I did. I moved. I'm from St. Leo originally, actually.
sure, yeah.
And then you were an RDPer?
And now I'm already
And now you're a
and now I'm
petit
back.
patrier.
And now I'm la petite patrie. Yeah, I moved. I used to live on Jari. So I was born and raised, but not born and raised. I moved. I was like 3 years old. St. Leonard. Came to the pits.
Do you have any
Met all
recollection
you
of like
guys.
moving?
I remember my old house. I remember moving though. I remember my old house, and I remember actually my first day into my new house. But in between, I don't remember.
It's
I was
weird.
3 years old, man. What the fuck do you know at that
I
age?
think I was like 10 or something, and I remember being like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm leaving the house that I fucking grew up in. You know what I mean? Like it's such a strange
Yeah,
thing.
but you didn't really grow up in it. You're 10 years old. Like
Well,
you did, but like you have so many more memories after
Yeah.
10 years old too.
I spent like a decade in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like all these memories that you built throughout your
Yeah.
entire childhood in this house are not gone, I would say, but sometimes like I'll pass by in front of that house sometimes, and I'll be like, "Fuck, man! Like I wonder if they still have the pool. I wonder if like that time I punched a hole in the wall, like it's still like I pissed at my dad. You know, he's like, getting angry at me for some fucking shit or whatever."
Doubt it though.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like if it develops, like I'll give you an example. I never moved. I grew up in the same house. We lived in the same house all together the whole time. And then when I needed to move out on my own, that was my first move out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was more of an experience or there was more weight added. So I don't know if moving when you're young helps you like adapting with change and deal with change better, so that when you do move out, it's less of a shock.
I think so.
But
That's a good point.
the memories stay though for sure. The old house, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's for sure.
Well, that's my point. Is like I think when you move that initial time as a kid, you end up learning like okay, like things. It's like every single thing you learn as a kid has like long-reaching lessons. I think for when you're older. So it's like it teaches you that nothing is forever, right? As fucking morbid as that sounds, like
that's deep, bro.
yeah, but like nothing's forever, right? This house is not forever. I mean, whatever. Like it's very, very deep, but like life isn't forever. Like nothing is forever, you know. And so like you leave, you go into this new thing, and then you learn after that that like you will adapt to all these changes. You know, like you'll adapt to all these new things.
Yeah, for sure, bud. For sure. Like my first time moving, I'm with Dave on this one. I don't really count my move as a kid as a move because I was 3 years old. I don't remember. My first move was like a couple of months ago. I moved from my parents' house. I've been living with my mom's house. I've been living there since I was 3 years old. It was at 25 years. And it's like, at least now I think about it, I'm able to go back and like see my mom at the house. I think it's really, really over if like your parents sell. Then
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah.
Then you can't go back to the house. Then it's really finished.
Yeah.
Then you get to go back, see your basement, maybe see your old room if it's still there. There's shit going on. But I can't imagine just like my mom just selling the house.
Yeah.
Like some stranger living in it, you know? Like, what the fuck? Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of my
that's
room.
it. Yeah, that's it.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's like, this is my fucking
Get
room.
the fuck out of my
Get
room.
out of here.
Yeah, it's rotten. I don't like that.
But I'm sure you guys will say this too. Is like, well, even when I moved out of my parents' house as an older person, when I went to buy my own place, and then you go back after, and like your room is empty. You know what I mean, you're just looking like, what the fuck? Like my bed used to be in here. Like, I don't know. Like I've had sex in here. Like I've done so many. You know what I mean? Like I've smoked weed out the window or something. Like there's so many things that have been
Definitely
done.
fucking masturbated a lot of
Oh yeah, a lot of masturbation. Quite a bit of masturbation in
That's
those
for
rooms.
sure.
Dave actually, dude, at his parents' house,
Speaking of masturbation,
he actually had a fucking like a serious room, dude. Like you know, sometimes you watch those shows as a kid,
Yeah.
and like the guy has a room, and you're like, wow, this is like the classic like TV American room.
like, hey Arnold.
yeah, like dude, your room was actually not. Hey, I wouldn't say
Describe-
hey,
No,
Arnold
it was
levels.
very sports though. But
Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
mean
yeah.
exactly?
Describe your room.
Yeah.
So my room towards the end.
Well, I mean, like in general, I mean, you always had like a vibe to it. Anyway, explain it.
Yeah, it was just all my sports, right? I was very driven by sports. There was the soccer wall. I had my Juventus team. Then I had my the nicest wall I had. I'm a dirty Toronto Maple Leaf fan.
Yeah,
What do you want? Everyone has faults in this world. Mine happens to be a Toronto Maple Leaf fan. So I had a buddy come over. He painted the leaf. He did the crest and the logo, and right down the middle it's split. So let's say on the blue jersey that they have, it's a white logo.
Yeah.
And on a white jersey, it's the blue logo. So he split it. He did half the logo blue and white, and then I did the rest of the color of the different jersey they would have, you know? So half that wall. My dad, I moved out. I'm like, Pa, don't ever paint that. Like, don't paint that one right away.
Yeah.
Not right away. Hold on to that
Fuck,
one.
that's nice, man.
And then I had a Kobe Bryant wall, a basketball wall. Just like all my
Yeah.
sports. That's
It
what
was
he's
sick,
saying.
dude. It was
Typical child sports wall. But then you grow out of that. Like even now, I was like, but do I put a couple sports things in my room? Like, no, I'm past that phase. That's
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "Fuck, what do I put in my room?" Because I want to put like maybe some posters and shit like that of like
Yeah.
bands that I like or concerts I've been to. And it's like, what age do you stop putting like sports things or concert things on your wall? I don't know, man. I think it's fucking cool.
I honestly went through the same thing when I moved out because when I was living at home, I had my Liverpool jerseys on the wall. I had the scarf. I had like the "This is Anfield" sign, and then I moved here, and I'm just like, do I go with the jerseys? It's just it doesn't scream adult. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I mean?
why are we putting an age on sports and
It's
and
true,
the love
and
for
passion,
it?
yeah.
And passion? It's stupid.
This is what we were saying before. So it's dealing with change. And that's why we were saying this
Yeah.
whole move and changing. Like change management is a thing. When I'm at work, let's say there's a big implementation, something new that's going to happen. We have to take like a change management course, depending how big the change is. And this was really enlightening to me. So we did an exercise. She was there. She's doing the change management on my colleague and myself. We were two managers at the time. So she goes, okay, turn back to back and change something about yourself. Like look at each other right now turn around, change something about yourself.
About you or about me?
Let's say each other, and then we'll come back. So I'll give you an example. Me and you, we turn away.
Okay.
You change something about yourself. So I'll give you an example. I'll do what I did, and you change something about yourself. So we turn around. We're there. So I look at him right away, and I saw he unbuttoned his shirt, my colleague. So I'm like, okay, so you unbuttoned your shirt. That's what you changed. He's like, yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so now it was his turn to look at me. So he's looking at me, and he's like, where's your watch? You took off your watch. I'm like, yeah, that's what I did. So we look at her. We're all proud, and we're like, yeah, we did it.
We won.
She's like,
we won.
She goes, no. She goes, that's the difference. She goes, David, the way he deals with change, let's say the way Justin deals with change is he just changes something about himself. So you, David, you changes, you need to something was lost. And that's why you took off your watch.
It's fucking deep.
So it was really deep. Right?
fuck?
So all I'm trying to say is,
No, I know.
so what I'm trying to say is, you said, when is it time to remove like these posters, these things? It depends how you see change. Like you moving into your new place, like myself, it's like, doesn't scream adult. So we're going more with that now. We've changed also that part. If you want to have the same vibe, like when you're living at your parents', but just change the setting, the location, have your own place, you can do that as well. So it's just the way you deal with change, and that's change management.
And that was the philosophy segment of Beyond the Bench, episode 79. Did I say 79 when we started this? Or 78? I don't know. Whatever. That's pretty deep, though. It's true, because everybody does deal with these types of changes differently, right? Like everybody deals with a breakup differently. Everybody deals with and that's what it is. I guess for me, the idea of moving out was like, okay, now I have to embrace my quote unquote adulthood and do things that are considered quote unquote adult. I think that is a weird thought to have in general, because like it comes back to the idea of like what is considered adult. Is an adult an adult, or is an adult just a kid that grew up eventually?
Look at Lori. He has a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Are you an adult?
Yeah, almost there.
You know what I mean? though? Like it's crazy, man.
Like, is there something that you felt like when you had your kid that you're like, kid, like this is like objectively now different from me from now when I didn't have my kid? You know what I mean?
Well, it's
in terms of the way you act, or just like what you, I don't know, like what you keep in your house, or I don't know, like anything.
It's different for me in the sense that I was living with my then girlfriend, right, which is my wife now.
Yeah.
I was living with her for 4 years before we had our kid. So I mean, for me, having a kid, like it wasn't a huge change. Especially considering that we had a crazy dog before, so it's like it kind of helped out. But yeah, I mean, in terms of change, there hasn't really been much of a change. Just more like responsibility, more work, less sleep. But
that's what I was gonna say. Less sleep.
Yeah, less sleep. Now it's getting better. Like he's doing his pretty much almost his full nights now. But at the beginning, for at least a month, I was sleeping maybe 2-3 hours, and then waking up, sleeping 2-3 hours, waking up, sleeping 2-3 hours, waking up.
Good for you, man. Good for you, bro. Jesus Christ.
It gets better though. It gets better.
It teach you. It teaches you patience. I'm sure.
For sure. Yeah, that's definitely.
Can you imagine, like, if I think about myself right now, dude, if I don't get at least like 6-7 hours, dude, I am the crankiest person you will ever meet in your entire life.
Snap.
I was
Imagine
the same
2
way.
hours.
I was the same way.
But when it's with your kid, it's different, eh?
Of course. It's like an extension of yourself, man.
Yeah.
It's like you created this thing, you know? It's like
mental.
It's crazy.
But that's what it, like is like, you know, the thing where they're always like you don't realize it until you hold it or you see it for the first time. Like, is that a real thing?
Well, no, so I was by my wife's side, like holding down her leg as she was pushing.
That's crazy.
And it's like the whole way through, I'm there. I'm like, yeah, let's go, you know. And she was getting nervous with me because she was like, okay, like shut the fuck up, you know. but when I saw when I saw his head like come out for the first time, and I saw his head, and like he's not like a baby. It's like he's all like purple and like full of like juice and this and that, right?
Yeah,
so
they don't come out perfect.
No, that's why. So when I first saw his face, like I couldn't even watch. I turned my head right away. Like I couldn't deal with it for a second, right? But then once they pulled him out, put him on her, and I'm there, and like he starts crying. It's like it's
real.
It's a crazy moment. It's
like, that's what it is. It becomes real.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That placenta juice freaked you out. Did you see his face? It was so amazing. Like, I saw you relive that moment. I just saw you relive that moment.
You know what I think about when I think about like an experience like that? Two things. One is like the classic, like in the movie, like were you that dad that's there with like the video camera, like, okay, honey, push, honey, okay, push.
Not so much. No, it was just like, you know, like it was myself, 3 other nurses, and the doctor. So it's like we were like a group of people all there, and it's like for them, it's like I realized this while I'm there, that it's like for them it's just like another day at work. Like it was like nothing. But for me and my wife, we're just there, like we're freaking out. I'm like, and like half an hour in, I'm like, so is there progress? Like what's going on? Because they were just like talking like, hey, did you go to the conference yesterday? This and that. So I was just like, okay, but like, is there progress? Is something going on? Yeah, it's going good. Don't worry about it. It's like, oh, okay, like
Yeah, them it's just another day at the job. You know what I mean? Clock in, clock out.
It's completely different.
That was the conference yesterday. It's like, yo, my kid, can you fit into my kid? You know, like
it's crazy.
I'm sure it was more of a reality for her first than you. Like until the kid came out for you, you were still. She's pregnant. I have a wife and she's pregnant. I'm not a father yet.
No,
but to her, I think from the moment she starts seeing like her body change and everything.
Yeah,
Did you feel that, or did she admit to you that once the kid came out, you had Pietro, which is a beautiful boy, by the way?
He's a legend.
Like-
He's already a legend.
Is it that moment that she felt like we're parents now, or did she feel already like a mother before that?
No, for her, for sure, she felt already like a mother before, because even her, for like she was preparing for it, right? Like body wise. So it's like her. She was off work months before that he was born. For me, I was just living the same life, right, day to day. And then once he's born, then that's when it changed for me. But for her, the
only thing that's different for you is that you would come home and your wife is pregnant, just physically. For her, she's actually carrying it. That's the difference.
Exactly.
But for you, it's fucked, man. Because like I was thinking about like picture this, okay? Your last night without your kid. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know, like forever.
Now you have a son.
Now you have a son.
Yeah.
You know, like you come home that night.
We're freaking him out right now. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Like now you have a son, bro. Like there's no more of like I never had a kid or anything. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. Crazy,
but it's
bro.
fun because we were talking about this the other day actually, and it's
so
like, you know how they say in general, like women tend to mature quicker than men, right? And even in the process of like childbirth, it's like men tend to try to, I think anyway, hold on to the last like vestige of like their youth or of like their non-parenthood status, you know what I mean? And it's because I think we were talking about this the other time, it's because we're not the ones carrying the baby, right?
Yeah.
So like we only experience it the moment that it's actually born. Women are dealing with it 9 months prior, so they've had the time, I think, to come to grips with the fact that like I'm going to be a mother, I'm giving birth to this child. Guys, it's just like my son's here in a month. Let's party.
No, that's exactly it. For myself, like her due date was in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, hey guys, like one last night to get fucking hammered, you know? Like one last night to get completely plastered, you know. And here I am drinking a beer with you guys.
So that's why when you see this kid now and everything's changed. So when you see this kid and everything's changed, and right when I say that, he spills his beer. That's why you get pissed at it, right? That's why you get hell from your parents. Those sleepless nights you gave me that I woke up caring for you, doing all this. God forbid, one day you get lost. I don't see you. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. You guys, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Do you have a story of when you were young?
And getting lost?
And getting lost.
I have a great story.
Wait, what do you mean getting lost?
I want to hear a story from her. Like, let's say if you ever got lost in a store, anything with your parents, and like like what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go.
I have a good one. So this is.
All right, Justin, you're up.
I remember this clear as day, man. So I went to like kind of like, you know, when we were younger, our family sometimes wouldn't be like necessarily like a vacation, but sometimes you would go spend the whole day, maybe sleep like downtown in the old port and like do that sort of like local kind of vacation. So I went with my mom, my aunt, some family friends, their kids, and we're in the old port and like it's packed, full of people. And from what I remember, like my mom I'm really young, so she's holding my sister and I at the same time, our hands. And I think at one point I had stopped holding her hand because I was playing my Game Boy. That's what happened. So I'm looking down the whole time, until one moment I look up and like there's just, you know, like it was almost like in the movies. There's people everywhere.
Yeah, just a crowd of people just
like,
engulfing
it's like
you.
you're in Times Square, bro. There's people everywhere, you know. So I was like, holy fuck! And I looked around, and there's actually a very valuable lesson to the story, by the way. I'm gonna get to it, okay? So I'm looking around, and I'm like, holy fuck, where's my mom? So I start freaking. I started walking a bit. I started like I think I was crying at one point too because I was really young.
Oh yeah, there's always a crying moment. Yeah.
I'm buzzing, man, and this lady just finds me and she's like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, I lost my mom. Like I can't find her. She's like, okay. She's like, come with me. She's like, we're gonna call her. She's like, do you know her phone number? And I was like, yes. And this is the lesson, bro. You should always have your parents' number by heart. Okay, you should. I gave her the number. She called my mom and she answered, and she can pick me up.
Yeah.
So it was chill.
How old are you?
I was like fucking 6, bro. 6 or 7 years old.
There's definitely a crying moment.
I was freaking out.
Yeah,
I remember
for
like
sure.
really, really freaking out, and I was like, "Holy fuck!"
That's a cry for help.
Yeah.
When you're a kid,
I was
it's legit
literally-
a cry for help.
Literally.
Like so many thoughts going through my head. Like, am I gonna get kidnapped? Is she gonna like? Did she just fucking leave me? Like, does she not love me anymore? Like, what's going on? You know?
What it is this your mom or your dad or your parents in general? These are like the center of like safety of your world
you
at
don't-
that point.
you don't know anything.
You don't know a
It's
single
Superman
thing,
and
dude.
Superwoman.
That's it. You don't know a single thing. Like we always talk about this on the podcast, where you grow up thinking your parents have the answer to everything, and realistically speaking,
They don't know shit.
how old? Like, dude, fuck all, dude. Literally, I always say you're an adult is just a kid who grew up, man. And like, you still have all the same questions you had as a kid, except now like you have some responsibilities that you've been able to come to grips with. But like, you still have all the same questions.
No, but as a kid, you're like nothing without your parents. And
Zero,
that just
that's
proves
it.
it. Like, I swear to
Exactly.
God, in that moment, like I had lost everything, bro. I didn't know what to do with myself.
The
You're
world
so young.
is
What do you
over.
do?
Stress.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Okay,
crazy.
what's yours?
We were at the mall. It was my brother, myself, and my grandfather there was like a mall, probably like a 2 or 3 minute walk away from my grandparents' house. So we were chilling at my grandparents' house while my mom was working and my dad was working. So he brought us and he's like, "Hey, come, we'll go around." There was like a pet shop there and shit. Like we used to always go there and just buy shit, you know?
Yeah. that's
Classic
true.
like grandparent move, you know? So we were going around, went to the pet shop, we walked out, and I guess he didn't realize that we weren't following him, so he left. So I'm 8, my brother's like 4, and we couldn't find him anymore. So I had to be like the center of safety, I guess, or like the center of like logical thought, because my brother was bawling his eyes out, and so we couldn't find him. So we walked back to my grandparents' house. He wasn't there; it was my grandmother. So I'm like, "Yeah, we can't find Nunno. You can't find our grandfather." What do you mean? She starts losing it, you know. Like imagine, dude, like you have a girlfriend and it's just like you lost the dog, you know, like some shit. So she's like, "What the fuck?" We're trying to like figure out whatever. So we go back, we find him. She starts giving him hell, dude. She's like, "What's up? What the fuck is wrong with you?" She's like, "What the fuck?" Classic guy thing, you know what I mean? Like the guy, it'll never be. Yeah, exactly. It'll never be the mother or like the grandmother who loses the kid. It'll always be the guy because you're just like, "Oh my god, look at those ass." You know, like, you lose the fucking kids, you know?
Scary, bro.
But we were freaking out because I'm just like, oh my God, like, at least I know where my grandparents live from here. But if we were far out, it's like, oh my God, everything that I know about the safety of my world is lost right now. Like, what is going to happen, you know? And then you think about like all the extremes, like am I going to get kidnapped? Did something happen to him or whatever? It's like, holy shit, man, you know?
Moral of the story is that Josh wasn't the one who cried for help. It was Lucas.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well,
Just
well,
my-
the moral
yeah.
of this story.
You just called them out. Fuck.
Yeah, I just put my brother on blast on that.
Lacas, you're the best.
Yeah, when you.
I mean, I don't know it in like I don't remember it in detail, but I got lost at Marché aux Puces because
Oh, God.
That's bad though.
That's
I-
bad.
What the fucking
That's a
maze
maze.
there?
I went through like the rack with the clothes that like it spins.
Yeah.
I went in that rack and I just chilled, and then my mom kept walking and I got lost. Right. So when I came back out, I couldn't find it. Right.
Why would you go in a rack of clothes?
Man, I'm fucking 4 years old. The fuck do I know?
Yeah, it's true.
So then I come back out and I couldn't find her, and I just remember being called on the speaker, like my name, like on the speaker at Marché aux Puces, and then I ended up being found and someone brought me. I don't remember too much in detail.
That's fucking amazing.
Like you went to the lobby, like you figured out where they were calling you to go, or did you scream out your name like lottery
No,
ticket,
I'm-
like Lorenzo Todaro? Bingo!
I'm pretty sure I cried and someone like heard that the child was lost and then brought me back and brought me there. But I
Cry
don't
for
remember.
help.
Yeah.
Cry for help.
But
It
that's
happens every
what
story.
it is, though. Is like when you see a child in need, you know what I mean? Like everyone has that instinct.
Yeah.
Everyone's got that parental instinct in them.
I think so.
Because of biology, obviously. Like we're put on this planet to reproduce at the end of the day, you know? So I think everybody's got that like, parental instinct in them. So if you ever, like, let's say you're walking tomorrow downtown or wherever you may find yourself, and you see a kid like, it's like your first instinct is like, oh my God, are you okay?
When you're like, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
you just walk. You're like,
But on the flip of that,
I'm late
if you
for
see a
work.
26-year-old walking in the street, you're like, this is a fucking lunatic.
yeah, you think he's literally insane.
Yeah, he's insane,
he's
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So mine, I get ripped at the supper table for as long as I can remember. This one keeps coming back to me.
It's one of those, eh?
It's one of-
yeah, it's one of
It's
those.
a nice story.
It's
Yeah.
the Tina Turner one.
Yeah. Listen to this.
You know, it.
So I go to La Ronde. I remember I was like 4. My sister's like 7. I went with my mom. It was during the day, summer. So my dad was working. It was my mom, her work friend, her kid. Like, and we were like a nice group.
Yeah, it's nice.
So we do a whole day, and then we're walking home. We're walking towards the parking lot. Like, and as we're leaving, I'm there, and we walk by a ride that we did that was super awesome. So I go, no, I got to do this one more time.
The vampire.
No. It was like 4. I don't remember. Something that involved like a jungle gym, climbing up, being a bit active, and then really just going down a slide at the end.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm climbing up. So I'm going up. They're like, no, Dave, we're leaving. Like, we're going to leave if you go up. You know, I'm like, I called them on their bluff.
Yeah.
Like, bullshit, you're leaving. Bullshit, you're going to leave your kid at Laurent. You know what I mean? So I go there. I climb up. And as I climb up, my back is towards them. So I get all the way up to the top. And what they did, my mom did to sneak up is she went to the front of the ride as if to say, when he does the little jungle gym, the course, and he slides down, I'll be waiting for him there. I looked back and I see that they're not there anymore.
Oh, you're buzzing.
I'm like, oh my God, my mom wasn't bullshitting. She didn't give a fuck about me.
She called your bluff.
She
called your bluff. Yeah.
Right? So now I said, fuck that. I'm not doing the jungle gym. I'm going back down. I'm running towards the parking lot. So I go, I get down, I run, but now she's waiting in the front. So now I'm lost. So what did I do?
Cry for help.
Cry for help.
Yeah.
Right? So cry for help. I'm there.
That's the name of this. That's the name of this
Crying?
episode.
Yeah.
It's a cry for help.
And it's funny the people that come and help you. Like, God bless them, right? And like you said, the instinct is to be that. So anyways,
Yeah.
I cry, start crying. What's wrong? I'm like, my mom. What does she look like? I'm like, she looks like Tina Turner. Bro, because when I was young, she used to have the poofy hair, the curly hair. Right? So she had the curly hair. So every time I used to watch those videos, I was like, whoa, what love got? I'm like, that's my mom. That's my mom. So anyway, so she's crying for help type of thing. I'm crying for help. Good people bring us together. We reunite. The family. We're there. Okay, everything's good. It simmers down. And I could remember this moment. The guy looks at my mom. He's like, mais madame, pourquoi votre fils il dit que tu ressembles à Tina Turner?
Why do you look like Tina Turner?
Foot, like, you know, she's a French woman. You know
Just
what I
picture
mean?
the guy looking at his wife like this kid's like, my mom's here. He doesn't look half black.
Anyway, so it's the songs that they used to play when cleaning the house and all that, seeing Tina Turner. To me, my mom was Tina Turner. So I was like, whoa!
And now it's one of those stories that your dad or your mom just keeps bringing up.
What a song
Yeah,
though.
well, no, it's like Tina Turner. Every time a Tina Turner song comes on,
What a
that's the
song.
joke.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They used to come on the radio. I used to
Yeah.
fucking bang that
Yeah.
hard as a kid. What love got to do?
Everyone, give me your best. Whoa!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Man, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, me.
I have a good story
We're a quartet, fuck.
about how, like, you know, I'm sure even you guys, this is classic, and this brings it up, how your parents always have this like running joke with you that they'll bring up to their friends. To, like,
Yeah, my
make
parents
fun
have
of
one
you.
with Lorenzo. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. So mine, one of my famous ones from my dad. This you're gonna enjoy this one. I went to a restaurant in Florida once, and I'm a big eater, man. So like that's just how I am. So I go to a restaurant and we order steak, and my dad's big on steak. I love steak, and so the waitress comes to me and she's like, "How do you want your steak?" And my dad's like, "You know, take it medium. You know, it's good." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll take it medium." So the girl comes, whatever. She brings me my steak, and it's like a little steak like this. So me as a kid, I'm like, fuck, why did I take a medium? I should have took a large. That's what I said. So my dad, bro, this is like 25 years later, and he still says the same joke every single time I order a steak. He's like, Justin, you should have ordered a large, no? I'm like, oh my God. It's just the same running gag, man.
But
It's been like that.
This is what I mean when, like, as a kid, like, your whole world revolves around your parents, right? So they're the arbiters of, like, truth and, like, morality. They're the ones who tell you everything what's right from wrong. So, like, even me, that I remember when I was a kid, I remember getting in the bathtub, and I think I've said this before, where I would put my hand under the faucet, and because water drips around your hand, I would be like, oh my God, like, water goes through you. I was like, why? It goes through your hand because you see it kind of dripping from the other side, right?
How stupid are you,
Yeah,
bro?
and so then I think, yeah, exactly.
Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
so stupid.
And so then I think sometimes, like, you know, this, like, quite, like, you never see that kid, like, mommy, how come the balloon is so, it goes high? Like, I think sometimes, like, your parents must be like, oh my God, another fucking stupid question. It's not high, it's just because it goes and then you have to, like, think about a way to explain something so complex in, like, layman's terms for this kid who doesn't understand a single thing yet. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I wonder how many parents are just like, oh my God, shut up.
I'm sure all
Shut
of
the
them.
fuck up.
I'm sure all of them.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
It's coming. It's coming.
Your kids gonna ask you a dumb question when they get
It's-
like, Jesus Christ. They're like, Jesus
It's
Christ.
one question. It's why.
Yeah, it's why. Yeah.
Why? Once
Yeah.
why comes into play, you're
Yeah.
done.
How come the sun is only out for a little bit? Oh, well, because it becomes night. Why? Because there's day and night. But why? Because the earth revolves around. Why? And you're just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up.
That's me. I ask a lot of why, apparently. I'm always asking why, apparently. Yeah, this is what people tell me.
What's one thing that, like, even now, knowing that your kid hasn't spoken yet or anything, that you know you want to, like, instill in your child?
Yeah, it's fucking deep. Jesus Christ, on the spot like that.
Like something you learned growing up or whatever, like as a kid or whatever. Like you look back on your childhood, elementary school, high school, and you're like, I want my son to know this so he doesn't have to deal with it the way I had to deal with it. You know?
That's big.
That's fucking deep.
Yeah,
man.
that's like
yeah.
I could tell you what mine would be.
What?
Well, like growing up, I had really bad acne, right? So like it was always something that I was very self-conscious about. So I mean, you never know if it's going to be able to get through or not, but I would always want to make my son know, like, look, whatever's happening now, because in high school, everything that happens, you're like, this is the end of the world. This is the entire world, right? Like every problem is the biggest problem ever. And so I would want my son or my daughter to know, you know, I want a son more. I would want my son or my daughter to know that like everything that happens is not the end of the world. Like time moves, things change. Like you won't deal with this forever, you know? So like even if you have acne, which my son or daughter probably will have, considering how much I had and how much my family's had in the past, like don't stress too much, live your life, enjoy your time as a kid. And I feel like every parent does try to tell their kid that, and their kids don't necessarily listen at that moment. But that's, for me anyway, that's one thing.
Well, how old's your son?
Well, now he's going to be 4 months.
Okay, you can't tell your son that in 4 months. Hey, man, listen, enjoy your life.
No, like when he's older.
Like, it's okay if you get acne.
But
you know, the kids are like, what the fuck are you
shits his pads.
But you know what? Going back to what you were saying there, where it's like you know, my wife was preparing herself before I was in that sense. What I was preparing myself before was really like what I was gonna tell my son as he gets older, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not things that I could apply now, but when he gets older, like I was telling myself things on what I would tell him.
Yeah, how you want
right?
to raise him and
Yeah.
shit. Like the values you want to give your son, or you know, put into him. It's good, man.
Exactly.
Me, respect is the biggest thing. That's what I teach my
100%.
son. Respect. When people have no respect, that gets me so nervous.
Of course.
You know, it's a big one.
They weren't raised right.
That's base, bro. It's for me. That's the basic.
You know
basic thing.
You know what's a big one? Respect your mother.
Yeah, but everybody in general, man.
Don't like. I'm sure like you don't talk to your mother like that.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
a classic. Though.
Go apologize to your mother. Go apologize to your mother. Yeah. And a question I've always had is this:
Go apologize to your mother. What a classic.
Do you think? Okay,
Fuck.
and I'll tell you what I think. Do you think that the go apologize to your mother stems from I'm teaching you respect? Or do you think that maybe a little bit it stems from I don't feel like dealing with your mom getting annoyed and nagging about this after?
Definitely a bit of both.
Go fucking apologize to her because I have to eat this shit after.
I'm pretty sure it's the second option.
Maybe a bit of both.
For sure.
It's like an 80-20.
80 what?
80-20.
80 for what?
80 doesn't want to fucking hear it.
Okay.
20, it's like, it's your mother.
It's your mother.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
It's not nice.
But in all like honesty though, like I don't know if you've ever been around people who like kind of yell at not just their mother but their parents.
I've been to like my friends' houses that are not necessarily like us, like this community, but like from the outside.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you fucking serious?
That's how you talk to your parents.
Like,
Like, holy
you
shit.
serious? I can't do that shit
Yeah.
to my dad, bro. He's gonna fucking give me a sick beating,
Yeah,
bro. Are
yeah.
you crazy? No way. Tell them to go fuck themselves and shit. I was
Dude.
like, yo, imagine telling your dad to go fuck himself, Josh. Are you?
I told my dad that once, dude. He beat me
No,
with
I
a broom.
know.
Martin, no.
I said fuck you to my dad once, dude. I got the beating.
No.
Dude, I got the beating of my life from my dad and my mom, dude.
Yeah,
they ganked
they're
me,
both they're both coming in, bro.
They're kicking me while
You
I was
want
down.
an easy beating? You want to take an easy beating from your parents? Call them by their first name. Call them by their first name. Tell me if you survive.
You know, he used to always do that. Sag, dude. He used to call his dad Aldo. And I would be like, dude, why are you calling your father by his first name? He's your biological father. And it's such a weird thing. Like, why is that considered such a lack of respect? Like, why is it that me calling you your name as your son is considered such a lack of respect?
I don't think it's a lack of respect. I think it's just not common, so it just sounds weird. Or is it actually like a lack of respect?
I feel like it's a lack of respect. Like, if I call my dad Martin,
yeah.
like,
Hey, dumb.
Yeah, you know what I
Like,
mean?
what
Like,
the
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, it's too rigid.
Yeah.
It's ridge.
Yeah, bro, you're my coworker. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
ridge.
Like, we're not friends. I'm your father. You know what I mean? It's not.
We're
I
not
don't
cool
know.
like that. We're
Yeah.
not cool. Okay, so you went deep right now.
That's
You asked a
crazy.
deep question.
Yeah.
What did you say? You said something like, "What's like the one thing you want your
to instill in your child.
yeah?
It's still
You want to
a
hear?
child.
You want to hear a deep question? When we were young, we used to do this at the bench. At the bench that we are now beyond.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's nice.
Okay, we used to do these would you rather's, but we were a lot It was a lot worse back then. It was would you rather's that both of them you're like, fuck it, just shoot me in the head.
Yeah. They're coming in your mom's mouth and fuck your dad in the ass. Like,
No, it was
like shit like that.
the
Like,
worst one was
man.
guy girl. We used to be like, okay, who's the hottest guy actor? Like for the girls, we say think of him, and girl was guys, it was the girl. So Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Aniston, and girls used to say Brad Pitt, whatever it was, and then we used to be like, okay, imagine them switching with your father, like it's them in your father's body, or your father in their body. Which one would you have to do one of them? Which one would you do?
what do you mean? I don't get it.
We used to do that. We used to put you in a scenario like, let's say for guys, we used to say hottest actress. Go. Who is it?
I mean,
For you.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson.
You always said Scarlett
Yeah,
Johansson,
yeah.
so I'll go with Scarletta.
Yeah.
Okay. It was weird. When we were younger, we used to do this. We used to be like, would you rather? Okay, so your mom and Scarlett Johansson, they swap souls. So your mom is in
Oh.
Scarlett Johansson's soul, and Scarlett Johansson's soul is in your mom, and you have to bang one of them. We used to do that to each other.
That's so
and I used to look at each other and say, none of them.
So
Stop doing this to me. Okay, but I have a deep one.
That's
This is
actually
it.
fucked up, bro.
That's
because
fucked
no
up.
matter what, you're pretty much fucking
You're
your mom, bro.
losing.
Well,
Yeah, you're pretty much losing.
say-
Yeah.
I hated those. Okay, so I'm saying since we're beyond that, let me bring it to a serious one. This is deep.
Yeah,
Okay,
go.
would you rather live your whole life? So it's a would you rather, like you're gonna lose something.
Mm-hmm.
But which one would you sacrifice? Would you rather spend your whole life never finding your true purpose, or would you rather spend your whole life never finding your true love?
I knew you were gonna say
One
that.
or the
bro.
other.
That is so fucked.
Like you have to pick one out of the two. What's
Well-
gonna make you feel more fulfilled? Fulfilling your purpose or finding your true love?
Does one ever really truly find their purpose? in
That's the
life?
thing. I was gonna go with that too. But let's just say for this sake, yes.
Okay, let's say that you do. Podcasting.
You can make it that your purpose is finding that person. You can even spin it on me.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to have your take.
You know what it is, bro? At the end of
man.
the day, man, the thing is that at least when you have like that one true love, it makes everything else like,
Better.
not so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's that with it.
Yeah.
Because no matter how bad your life is or whatever, at least you have that person you love and that loves you back
Yeah.
and then you could like share all this shit with. But if you're like alone, bro, and like no matter you could be the most successful fucking person and you pursue your dreams and you're a fucking millionaire and you're fulfilled, but you go home every single day, bro, and you open your door and you have nobody there to love you besides maybe your fucking cat, bro. Like
But bro, you're sleeping
what
on
I
money.
mean?
Yeah.
but that's the thing though, you know, it's not even about the money part. It's just about sometimes just doing what you love and not making a lot of money, just being happy and like whatever, just living, obviously, you know.
Depends what fulfills you most, right? But that makes sense. He said love, Josh.
To be honest with you, I would kind of lean in that direction for the sole purpose that I think both ways. I think like I said, everyone's purpose in life, I think, is just to be happy, number one. But I think we're put on this, like, as a species, our goal is to reproduce, right? So biologically speaking, you're looking to find that mate all the time, right? And I think, you know, women, as much as the feminists will probably be like, we don't need a fucking man. I think women are, you know, like you need you not that you need a man, but like, you know, you're looking for a man to have that family aspect with, and the same thing with men. You're looking for a woman to have a woman to have a family with, and I've always thought that I think guys tend to benefit a little bit more from that because, again, I think women tend to mature a little bit quicker than guys. I think guys tend to benefit a lot more from the relationship side of it than women because guys, I don't want to say need to be tamed, but are a little bit more wild in general. And once you are able to give yourself to this other person, you know, your life is so much different. You know what I mean? You have the kid, you have this person that you can depend upon. You know what I mean? And guys are much, I think, softer than people give them credit for. There's not a lot of macho-ness. So I would go with the true love thing because it makes everything else in life better. You can be poor, you can be on the streets, you can have a really bad day, but if you have that one person that you really love and loves you back, man, you'll go home
That's the
and
thing,
it makes
bro.
you
Does,
smile.
does she love you back, bro? That makes a huge difference
Yeah.
on the answer.
But your
Well,
true
it's
love.
your true love.
Okay,
So of course,
then
yeah.
I'm gonna
Like,
stick with
see
it
what
because,
Josh
bro,
was
she doesn't
saying.
love you, bro. You're fucked at that point. Like, I'm not gonna go home with some girl that doesn't love me.
Josh was painting a whole story. He was like, you know, if you're broke and everything, you have to. I'm like, Tommy used to work on the docks.
But it's true, though. It's
Like,
true.
I'm singing that in my head, you know.
It's true. I agree, man. I think it's super important, bro. But you know what? I was also thinking that if you don't pursue what you like and things like that, or if you don't find your purpose, it could not almost always, it could damage your relationship too. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to be fulfilled as a person.
True.
You're not going to be happy with yourself, which means you cannot be happy with somebody else.
That's
you
why
know?
you have to take a hit. Where are you taking the hit? That's why
Yeah.
I'm
That's
asking.
it. So with that being said, I'm still going to go with the true love, though.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think true love.
You, what about love?
Me, I'm all about purpose, guys.
I love on purpose.
It's like look, like true love is one thing, right? Like I it's hard for me to say it because for me, I'm married to my wife and I love her, and it's like it's my true love. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm already there. For me, it's like I want that purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard for me to answer that unbiased, right?
Yeah.
Because I already have that. You know what I mean? But
You want what you can't have, almost, bro. Or
always,
what you don't have.
Always.
You know.
Always.
Yeah. Well, it comes like look, we've spoken about this on the podcast before, where you ever see those shows, obviously, where like the look, guy or girl, whatever, but in the shows it's like the guy has like a very important, quote unquote, important job. He's a CEO or whatever the fuck. He's got to travel a lot, and the wife's like, like I really wish you were here more often, and blah blah blah. And it's like, that guy in that situation is kind of torn between two things where it's like, I love my wife, I love my family, but I also have a job to do and I need to provide for my family. And there's a bit of it where it's like, if you really love your job, it's because you really believe in what you're doing and you want to succeed at it. So you have this drive, this purpose in you that you're trying to fulfill by doing well at your job. So it's like you're torn between these two aspects. And so some people, like, it is that thing where it's like, I'm more geared towards purpose because that's what makes me feel fulfilled. You know what I mean? Some people it's family, some people it's love, some people it's whatever. But like a lot of people, whatever that purpose is, you can't necessarily take that away from somebody. How can you possibly tell somebody that whatever makes you feel fulfilled, don't go do that?
No, you can't do that.
Okay, but wait.
No.
But you said love before. Is it love or purpose?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at both sides of the coin. I'm on the fence.
Okay. Because Lorenzo
What's-
said purpose.
what's yours?
And it makes it is bias.
It's that's it.
It is bias.
That's
What's yours, Dave?
I think I just saw the circle of life happen right now. I saw Mufasa, Simba, I saw all of them. Okay? Listen to this.
What a fucking movie.
Holy shit, what a song, man.
I think like I just saw, like, once you have the love, is from what I saw, then it becomes about the purpose. I get it. I'm just saying, like, but you can go your whole life without getting that purpose.
For sure.
So I think if your purpose was something and it was very strong and it's something you're passionate about and it doesn't come to be, but you find your true love, you can still attain goals that you wanted together. And it might not be like the purpose or everything you wanted, but everything revolving around that purpose with that true love and that right partner helps you get there, or helps you achieve and feel purposeful in other ways. So I think that's what the love part will do for the purpose.
I have a scenario for you.
But the
with that.
purpose can do for the love too. Because if you're driven to be what you need to be, first and foremost, you want to be what you want to be.
Yeah.
Like the law of attraction, some people read the book. You know that you're just going to attract after something, good things towards you, if you were driven towards your purpose and what that was the whole time. So you can attract the love of your life by being driven towards your purpose, and then whatever's around you in that circle where you are at that time could come. But I think from what I saw here, first you get the love, and then you'll focus on the purpose.
Okay, but wait,
I'm going with love.
Because I actually have a good scenario.
Yeah, I just want to give one side note, Justin, sorry,
Yeah.
before we continue.
Yeah.
Lion King song translates to the
Yeah.
Here comes a lion, father. Oh yes, it's a lion. Here comes a lion, father. Oh yes, it's a lion. A lion. We're going to conquer. A lion, and a leopard come to this open place.
What the fuck?
That's it.
And that's it.
And that's it.
It says it.
That sounded like a crazy dancer. It's like, here comes the lion. Here comes the la 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 lion.
Oh my God.
You were on that one, Josh.
Yeah.
You were vibing.
And that's it.
And that's
I
it.
love it.
What were you gonna say?
Okay, scenario for you, Dave. Okay, so this is good. This is actually going. So, for example, you're saying that the love comes first, the purpose comes after.
I
Okay.
feel that's what I've taken away
Yes,
from
but
this.
now I'm starting to think a bit. So, example, you're saying
Really
like,
think.
yeah, I'm fucking thinking as fuck. Okay.
Have you
So-
ever thought about thinking?
Yeah. Did you ever think about
Holy
thinking about thinking?
shit.
It's even more. That's
No,
even
but-
crazier.
Thinkception.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
crazy.
you just blew the top right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll come back.
Thousand blown.
Yeah. So what if your purpose, okay, you said you have to find your purpose, you have to go out. Some people, they need to fulfill that purpose. So example, an athlete, okay? That's, or like someone that has to like move away to do something. So this guy wants to be a fucking soccer player. He wants to pursue his dream and play for Italy one day and do that thing. And his having a girlfriend, even if it's her true love, is going to make him stop. Not gonna make him stop. It's gonna be like not a distraction, but like what's that word I'm looking for?
An ultimatum.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna force him to choose between two options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's
in
gonna be an
that
ultimatum.
case, what do? You know how many times people have fucked up because they stayed comfortable or they stayed local with their girl and didn't go pursue those dreams? That's another huge fucking issue.
That's what scares me. That's why I'm asking the question. I'm saying like that's people who didn't chase the purpose and then kind of see like not the bitterness, not saltiness, but just like there's a little less joie de vivre.
Because
there's
not
something
everyone's
missing.
purpose. If your purpose is to be a business owner, for example, just to say you could have a business in Montreal where you live and be with your wife and have the best of both worlds. You're fulfilled, in your job, and you're fulfilled in your love life. Perfect. But there's the ones where you have to move away and shit. What do you do
Yeah.
in that case? You have
Yeah.
to pick one. You're fucked.
Well, I mean,
you have to. Unless she comes with you, bro, and she drops literally her whole life for you for a risk.
It's a tough.
It doesn't really happen.
It's a tough situation because
Yeah.
then there comes resentment, right?
Yes.
For her, it's like she resents him for taking her away from her family and so on and so forth.
For sure,
And
man.
for him staying and not pursuing that, it's resentment towards her for not letting him pursue his dreams, right?
yeah.
So it's
That's
like
fucking so true.
it's like a lose-lose.
Yeah. Well, look, I was talking about this with one of our friends. She's a girl. She was dating. She's a woman, and she's decided to be friends with
I
me.
found that so funny. Yeah, she's a girl. It's okay.
She was dating a guy, and they broke up. But they still work together. They had started a business together.
Yeah.
So they still work together, but they're no longer together as a couple.
Mhm.
And she was saying, like, how is it going to be if I meet somebody new and they're like, oh, like you're still working with your ex, And my response was like, well, first and foremost, you can't really control, like we were talking about this last time, obviously, like whatever. I said that I had started seeing like a therapist.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she was instilling in me was this idea of don't try to control what hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Live in the now,
Well,
right?
Don't control what you can control.
Exactly.
pretty much.
So what I was saying is like, well, look, that hasn't happened yet, so you kind of cross that bridge when you get there. But if that bridge does come, you decide at that point, okay, maybe right now in this moment, the job is very fulfilling and it is what you really want to do. And maybe come that moment when the guy says, you're the new guy that you're with is going to ask like, well, why are you still working with your ex? Maybe then you'll say, well, you know what? This love that I found or this relationship that I'm in right now is more important than what I deemed the job to be initially. And I'll choose between one or the other. And maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the job is more important. And then you decide. It all comes down to what is the amount of importance you place on whatever it is that you're trying to choose between.
Yeah.
And
But sometimes they're fucking equal, bro. Yeah. Like in those like scenarios where like you really want to pursue, like I said, like an athlete, but like fuck, bro, like this girl, like she's like the love of your life, like. Bro.
But how can you see the positive in it, right? Because that's obviously the negative.
You're
The
gonna
negative is this guy couldn't be the basketball player or girl, whatever, professional
whatever.
athlete that they wanted to be because of a partner that they felt like there's no one else that's going to be obsessed with me like this or love me like this, right? Like they chose that. Now, that's the negative side, is that it didn't work out, and this person, like the fireworks, the things, it passed away, or sorry, it went down. But what's the positive in it, in sticking to that and not going towards pursuing the purpose? And that's where you kind of try and make your decision after.
yeah, it's a pros and cons thing.
So we know the con of it not working out and saying, fuck, I should have done it. Like I would have failed trying or scrapped this relationship in hopes that saying, I'll get another one.
Yeah.
So
it's also a mindset to think that like, that's if you believe that like she is that only one for you. Because if you believe that there's other girls out there, you can go do your thing and then find love when it's time.
So now you're leaning towards purpose. See, this thing has come.
But you see, like now I'm thinking again now, because you know what? You could do that because you know what? You could find love after. You don't have to. She might
finding love before can lead you to purposeful things after.
If you think that everything happens for a reason, I don't believe that. But let's say you do, and you're like, you know what, man? Like I'm gonna go pursue this. This is my time to shine right now. This girl right now, she's just not for me in this path or in this road of my life. Like she's just not there. I'm gonna find somebody when it's time.
Yeah.
Preach.
Are you?
I'm not even saying like right or wrong. It's just it's a thought.
Are you a believer in the idea that where you meet somebody dictates whether or not the relationship is going to last or is worth it or whatever? Or do you think, like, there's always like those guys that are like
when you meet like at a club, for
yeah,
example?
like if you meet her in a club, like she's a fucking whore or whatever, like that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Are you like, do you think that it matters where you meet somebody or how you meet somebody, or do you think it just matters that you met the person?
I don't think it matters where.
No, I don't.
Unless you met them, like if she's unless you met her at like a fucking
a brothel.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Literally.
No, but you get there's like little brownie points included in a nice story.
Okay, sure.
Right?
Like what?
There's little brownie points, little 3 golden stars.
Okay.
You never watched School of Rock? 3.5 golden stars for you, Summer.
Like, I don't know, you go to like a fucking, you go see your favorite artist. You're one of the bands you love the most, and you happen to meet that girl there that also loves that band. Those are brownie
You
points.
already have a big thing in common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
But it doesn't actually matter though.
But if she was like on an app You know, and she's like, Pikachu, I choose you. No, I'm sorry. I'm not doing this Pokemon shit.
Yeah, but
You
at
know,
the same
like,
time, it
but
could
that's
work
what
out.
it is now. But let me tell you the other side of the spectrum, right? Because that's what we're trying to do this whole time. That's one way of looking at it. It's online. I chose you. There's nothing about it. There was no flair. Then there's the other side of it where sometimes this is the platform that's the most popular right now.
Yeah.
Doing it online, right? So you can meet some good people, and then when you meet them, you're like, the fuck you doing here?
Yeah, literally, what the fuck are you doing
And then they'll be
here?
like, well, this is the place where apparently people meet. No, and,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, I don't blame you anymore.
How did you meet your wife?
It was in Cuba actually. I met her.
Ah,
I was
yeah,
on
yeah.
vacation. Okay,
was
you
on
was-
I
vacation.
actually know this story for some reason.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Why don't I know it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell it.
No, I'm not gonna stay your life, bro. Go for it, man.
No, it was like a last minute Cuba trip that I went with Seb Amato, actually. It was myself, Seb Amato, Chris Crowns, and another guy. And with
Don't say his name. Everybody else is saying their names, but him, like,
Fuck
fuck this
that guy.
Fuck this guy.
with this guy Medzi.
You got arrested that trip, so we don't. He can't be named.
Yeah, we went and I met her. It was the second night of our vacation for 7 days. Or a 7-day vacation, and then from then it was just every night that we were hanging out and being together.
Isn't it crazy, bro? How like obviously you like pulled your wife on vacation. That's what
Go-
happened.
going
bro.
there-
Yeah.
You
going
picked
there-
her up in Cuba, and
Yeah.
now like you're married and have a kid, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
I-
crazy how life works like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna let you say what you. So I just
Yeah.
want to say I saw a meme today, or I don't wouldn't call it a meme. You know, sometimes it's a meme, but it's like, oh wow, it's true.
Yeah.
It was a thing where it's like it's crazy how talking, let's say, to your girlfriend or something, or your boyfriend. It's crazy how all the decisions and all the events in both our lives led us to the point where we now met each other and are now here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One single thing different in any of those decisions or
Yeah.
in any of those events would have led to a situation
Yeah.
where maybe we wouldn't have met. And everything in our 28-year lifespan, let's say if we're the same age, led us to this moment
Yeah.
where we now met. You know what I mean?
It's like it's one huge tree. If you look at
Yeah,
it, it's
yeah.
life is like a tree, man. It just there's so many different things, and you have your wife's life and your life, and you guys somehow ended up in Cuba.
Yeah.
All you had to do,
I love when you do that. Yeah.
all you had to do is not go to Cuba,
Exactly.
and you wouldn't
Yeah.
even have your kid right now,
No,
and you wouldn't
it's
be with her.
crazy.
All you had to
That's
do
it.
was be like, fuck, I hate the food in Cuba, man. Let's go to Dominican or some shit. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's I've said that before.
He could have been
Cuba
like,
sucks.
he
I'm
could have been
not
like, no, I'm not putting it on the credit card. I don't feel like that. But he put it on the credit card.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
now he's married.
Like,
Like,
like who would have thought that going on a vacation where I'm going there thinking I'm getting plastered and banging bitches all week, I end up finding my wife.
Yeah. It's the truth, though, man.
Right?
Hey, you were single at the time. That's what it was.
Of course, that's it.
No.
Listen, guys obviously think that way. You think girls don't think that way?
Yeah.
You think girls don't go on vacation and it's like, okay, I'm going at the Brazilian, I'm doing my nails and my eyelashes because if I meet him and he's super cute, we're fucking.
But there's too much. There's too much pressure for guys to fuck on vacation. I'm gonna say it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
there is. Yeah.
It's almost to the point that when you actually fuck somebody, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's out of the way. You know, like I could actually just enjoy my time.
yeah, it's like
you know?
sports. If you score a goal early in the first period, you're
You're
good
good,
for the
you're
rest
good.
of the
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
right?
you know.
So if you
That's what it is. It's really bad though.
It is, though.
It's a lot
There's
of
a lot of
pressure.
pressure on guys in general for
Yeah.
sex.
but especially on vacation.
yeah. I don't think I've ever had sex on a down south vacation, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever picked up on a down south vacation.
only up north. Down south, no, up north.
But you know what it is? It's like I'm going here to relax and to enjoy myself. Why do I have to have this added pressure of I need to fuck somebody? You know what I mean? And that comes from other guys. It doesn't come
No,
from, it
yeah,
doesn't come
it's
from
just
girls.
like society's pressure. It's stupid.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
I don't think it's smart. It's extremely dumb.
These
but it's
are
there.
men's issues.
But it's
Stigma.
yeah. But it's
Hot
it's
liquid.
true. Mag-
Stigma.
What a genius, dude. Mike Myers, man. To have the fucking craziness in your mind to come up with that movie, like you're a genius.
It's actually the best trilogy of all time. I'm
Dude.
sorry.
You know how you used to do the different roles, right?
Yeah.
His name, Fat Bastard, Gold Member.
Austin
Dr.
Powers,
Evil.
for anybody wondering.
Yeah. So he used to go in the shower, keep the door open, and he used to be doing different voices. And he used to just be trying out different characters, different voices. And if his wife would be dying of laughter at one of them, okay, he's in the show.
That's how he.
So that's he made Fat Bastard, Gold Member, and the different Dr. Evil.
Oh,
That's how it was?
how do you not die at Dr. Evil and Fat Bastard? If I was his wife, I would be on the floor fucking dying. It's too good. Too
Get
good.
it. What's the one we always do? Me and you, we've done Fat Bastard since we were a kid, Dave and I.
No, we said Cobbs are the enemy, you know.
I'm on a new diet. It's called the Zune. Carbs enemy. Carbs
He goes like
enemy.
this. He goes like this.
My neck looks like a vagina.
You know when he does his whole speech. What's the
Yeah.
speech?
Yeah, when he
you know,
gets
in
into
this
the-
society that demands perfection, your sense of right, wrong, fair, and unfair can only be tragically skewed. And then it's like, oh.
That was a wet one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is it.
Wafting.
He's like, you really are a fat bastard.
But then it smells like what? It smells like when you go in other people's apartments.
Yeah, he does the whole thing. That
Yeah.
could gag a maggot.
You ever woke up in an apartment building and think, what are they cooking? That plus crap. Bro, what a genius, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? I always look at those movies sometimes or like those shows or anything. Like, these people, you had to have a moment where you had an epiphany and was like, this is what I'm going to come up with and this is what I'm going to pitch. And I was watching an interview with Seth Rogen the other day, and he was talking about how he was trying to get Pineapple Express made back in the day. And he's like, we would go to board meetings and we would pitch the movie, and the pitch would be like, yeah, like an action-adventure comedy about weed.
Yeah.
And people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's never going to work. And lo and behold, the movie is now like a cult classic.
Do you remember when it first came out? We
dude,
all went to the movies
course.
and got super fucking
stoned.
high, bro,
Yeah,
and watched it.
yeah.
I remember it
I remember
perfectly.
Ferry Blitz was a member on this show. I remember Ferry Blitz just
Shout out
laughing.
Ferry Blitz.
Shout out Ferry Blitz. Just laughing the whole time. The first part where it's in black and white and they open, they're like, subject 17.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now? And the guy's there, he smokes. He's like, I feel like a hot slice of butter melting on top of a pile of flapjacks. And I'm just, bro, and you're stoned out of our minds. Are you serious?
Yeah,
it was a good movie.
It
Do
is,
you
it is.
remember the first time you smoked weed?
There's the first time you smoked, and there's the first time it hit you. Like,
Yeah.
like
Mine was in the same time.
Are you two birds, one stone?
Two birds, one stone.
Mine was
yeah.
not two birds, one stone.
No?
No, mine was like just the second time was just a fucking
Okay,
train wreck, bro.
we have to go full circle on
You're
this.
gonna go.
okay.
You're gonna go
Why,
first.
me?
Yeah, go.
You're gonna go first.
So first time it hit me, it was the feast. Like there's the
RDP.
feast. Yeah. You guys remember? So there's the bench where we used to all chill, and then there was that one bench. In that park, the one soccer field. There's the one bench where you're getting close to like where the island was.
Mush Park.
I think so.
Behind
So
Farm.
one, yeah,
behind
it's
Farm
one
Free.
soccer field. It's on 27th and 28th in between.
Behind Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was fucking
no
Junebug City there,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yes.
Holy
They used
fuck.
to slap you in the head.
Bro, they
Yeah.
should just dive right into you. Anyways.
So no names, right? No name dropping. But I was so high that this really I should have stopped after this. Every breath I was taking and inhaling air, I was alive. I was gaining life. Okay, watch this. And you would see the lights in the street. They used to all light up. Like it was like. Then I used to exhale. They would be closing. I was dying. The lights were closing around me. For an hour and a half, you're there. Every deep breath, you're alive. So now sometimes what I used to do is skip and exhale. You ever inhale twice to live twice as long? I was just,
That's how you get rid of hiccups.
How the 3TP started.
that's how anyways. However it was,
Holy fuck.
that was my first time getting high. It wasn't fun. I should have been like, no, dude, I was dying and alive every 3 seconds.
You look back at that, you're like, how ridiculous is that though? Now you can smoke a joint, that doesn't happen
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Well, it's
no.
because it's new. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like I remember there was a classic moment where I smoked with you a long time ago when we were kids, and I remember walking from wherever it was the spot that we smoked a joint. We were walking towards the bus stop because we were gonna go to a restaurant and have some like hot dogs and shit. And he was walking ahead of me, and I still remember being really like too high. And I was looking at him walking, and in my mind, it looked like, like in the movies when you see like an elf or a fairy, just like, hey, come on, come along, follow me, like kind of like dragging me on. And so I started bad tripping because it felt like the walk to the bus stop was never ending. We get to the bus stop, and he used to do this thing when everyone was high or drunk. He would want to make you bad trip, and he would just be, cops. And so I start freaking out. Dude, it's negative 38 minimum. Negative 38 outside. It's like the middle of January. I was sweating, dude, how much I was bad tripping. I had to take my jacket off. I was like visibly perspiring.
This is your first time?
No, this is like
Okay.
deep into my smoking career,
It's a career.
And so like, because you don't know what's coming until you've done it for long enough. And like, I guess to go full circle back to like the kids thing or whatever, I wanted to ask you this. Like, let's say one day your kid comes home, you're going to know if he's high, right? Like,
Of course.
we're not idiots.
You're going to know.
You're going to
Yeah.
know if he's high. You're going to know if he drank. What's going to be your reaction? Because I've always wondered what my reaction would be. Like, what would your reaction be? Your kid comes home and he smoked a joint that night.
It would depend first and foremost.
His age?
His age.
Okay.
Exactly. If he's like still in high school, I'd be like, hey, listen,
How would you approach it?
like, cause myself, I was never in high school. Like, it was once I was like 17, 18, like it was afterwards. So it's like, I like if it's in high school, I tell him I would push towards not doing it in high school. But, if it's afterwards, then by all means, I'd be like, listen, like, just be careful. Like, don't,
It's also legal now. You
yeah,
can't really say anything.
That's it. I would like, again, it's first and foremost his age. That's the most important
Also,
thing.
like how he is as a human being. If he's like a piece of shit, no
Yeah,
offense or anything,
no,
I'm
no.
just saying, if he turns out
No,
to be
but
like
that's
just
it.
like a fucking
if he's doing like fuck all with his life,
Yeah.
then it's a different story
Yeah.
than if he's doing
Yeah,
things
yeah.
with his life.
If he has,
and it's
like,
like
goals
it's
and
okay,
dreams and
no
shit,
problem.
and, like,
by,
yeah.
by all means, I
Yeah.
was the same way, right?
yeah. No, but it's true. It's true though. Honestly, for me, that's the most important thing. If I would have a kid, it's like where he's at that time.
That's
You
it.
know,
That's it.
like that's super important. And his age.
Well, let's
besides
say, assuming he's 16 years old. Let's say your son's 16 years old. He comes home, he's in Sec 4 or whatever, and he smoked a joint. Like, this is my question always because I don't know how I would... You have any left?
roll me a joint. Fuck, I want to smoke it.
You know how to roll. Sure, let me show you how to roll.
I can't freak out. You know what I mean? Like I can't be the type to freak out on him because it's like
Why, though?
because of myself as well. Even though I wasn't in high school, it's like I've smoked weed myself.
Okay,
right? So it's
that's
like
my
I can't-
question, yeah.
I can't be like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is
You're
that
smoking
shit?
that fucking devil's lettuce and shit. You
That's
can't
it.
use those terms, bro. when
Are
you're-
you huffing grass?
yeah.
Which
that's
one
it.
to make it like fucking memorable though for the kid? I'm
Like-
thinking about it now. It's like, okay, we've done it. Like we did it so much that kind of guys, we were part of the generation that helped legalize it. Like
Yeah,
we used
for
to
sure.
smoke so
Yeah,
much.
100%.
We're in the heart of it. Think about it.
We're part
Yeah,
of
I
it.
never thought about it that
That's
way.
part of our
True.
story.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck yeah, bro. Good stuff. Continue.
Okay, so wait, you got me off track.
Part of the generation that helped legalize it.
No, we're Gonzo here.
Anyway, that's my point. Is just like, how can I possibly try and tell my son or my daughter that this is bad, knowing full well that I've done it? And then I think back to my parents, the way they dealt with it, and I'm sure they grew up seeing people smoking and stuff. And my dad, I know he's tried it and stuff, and it's like,
He's
he's dabbled in the pot milieu.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes if it's like you just have to play it up a little bit more and you have to pretend that it's a bit more of it has more gravity to it than it does, just to drive home the point that it may not be heroin,
Yeah.
but don't abuse it.
I would just tell him straight up facts to my kid. That's
Yeah.
what I would do. Listen, it makes you lazy. It does this. It does that. It could be a gateway, for example.
Yeah.
as he's smoking a joint, Justin.
Listen, it's not good for you.
So thanks for bringing me back on track. Yeah, make it memorable though. He comes home blitz. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Hold on, I'm back, baby.
Okay, go. Make it memorable. Okay, go.
So you come back home, blitzed out of your mind. Cook him pancakes. Do something. Have like a moment that he'll never forget. Like my dad, I was so high. Instead of getting mad at me, he's like, "Come here, we're gonna have like breakfast at night together." You know?
This is what your dad did.
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jesus. I know your dad. I
It
don't
was
think
too late. Like when you're too much of like a young adult by then, like they can't get mad.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So if
Yeah.
it was their wrongdoing, they should have clipped me earlier. But let's say you clip them in between what
Make them
15.
pancakes, bro.
Make them
I
have a
wish.
hell of a night. The
At
kid
night.
goes to bed.
Bro, you're
right?
gonna be a good dad.
My
man.
dad had no idea. No idea. And then the next morning you wake up. Okay, now we're gonna have to talk. You
Yeah.
know, but now it's like we vibed it out. I showed you a good night. I know what it is. And then you just try and have that conversation, but you can't be hypocritical.
But you know what my
because
mom
we
did
all
to me
do
when,
it.
when I got
That's
caught
it.
for the first time? She went so ham, it was like exaggerated, bro. This is what happened. Okay,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
home, it's 4:20. Okay, it was the one in Sec 3. I get home, I'm fucking stoned as fuck, and she's like, "Oh, Justin," she's like, "Why are your eyes really red?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "I'm really tired." And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "Come in the kitchen, bro." Doesn't she open my fucking eyelids, bro, wide open to check my eyes, bro? And then my sister walks in. She's like, "Come here." Our eyes red, and my sister like she's chill, you know. So she's like, "No, bro." My mom's like this on me. The fucking bro, I swear with that flashlight and everything. I swear to God. I was like, "Yo, you fucking serious, man?" Like I was freaking out. There's no talk about going into bed. It was right then and there. I'm calling your father. That's when you heard. I'm calling your father.
Wait till your father gets
Wait till
home.
your
It was
father gets
basically a bad trip.
I was buzzing.
Yeah.
I was buzzing.
Lorenzo's got the best. I'm gonna call your father story.
Uh,
Remember when we went to that that fucking party?
That party in Laval.
Yeah.
Yeah. that we
Dude.
mixed everything. We
Oh
mixed
my
vodka,
I always say this, like when you're younger, you just drink whatever the fuck you want to drink. Jack, Sky, whatever the fuck.
everything's all together.
We got really hammered, and I always wanted to ask you this. I never asked you like what happened after you left. We got really drunk. We all threw up in my car with my parents, and like he got picked up by his dad the next day, and the dad's line was like, "You know, next month, like your test for your driver's license is next month." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's canceled." Lewis is like,
He probably already called to cancel it.
No, it was just like it was all threats. It was all
Okay.
threats. It was all good afterwards. But
That's the worst one. Yeah, I know your driver's license. It's canceled. All serious too. Like no screaming. That's when you know it's canceled.
it was all threats. Honestly,
Sorry.
from that night there wasn't too consequential, right? Like there wasn't much. It was just like my dad had come and picked me up from your house, and he had a conversation with your mom, right?
Yeah.
And it was just them talking, and it was like okay, like me and you were just there like hungover as fuck. We're just like, get the fuck up.
He slept at my house. He wakes up the next morning. 2 questions. The first thing, how the fuck did I get in these clothes? And 2, why is there puke on the side of the bed?
You remember that night that he had to work his first day on the job? Do we say that story?
Yeah,
Can we say
that?
say it.
say it.
It's okay.
It's not even bad. Married kids, it's still not
It's
bad.
okay.
He had just got a job at a fucking supermarket. It was like Intermarché or some shit.
It was Intermarché on Vio.
And he's like, guys, like I work the next morning. I was like, guys, come over, we'll chill. We drank at my parents' house in the basement. We played Xbox. I think we were playing the new Star Wars game, The Force Unleashed, dude. I'll never forget. We drank all kinds, and at one point, like Lorenzo, when he's drunk, he's visibly drunk. You know what I mean? Like he begins.
First the pizza though. Let's
Yeah,
go with
yeah.
the pizza, right?
He begins to slur his words or whatever. So we're like, let's order a pizza. We call
I
like the
was
class.
in my words.
Yeah, he calls the pizza spot. It's like, hi, welcome to Al's. Can I take your order? How much extra large bacon pizza? She's like $34.99. We're downstairs. $34.99. Okay. How much is a large bacon pizza? $25.99. $25.99. Okay, wait. How much an extra large bacon pizza? She's like $34.99.
It's not you.
Okay, I'll take an extra large bacon pizza. So we downed this pizza, dude. 3 guys.
Extra
like
large
animals.
bacon pizza.
Yeah.
Animals.
That's a good choice.
Next thing you know, he's like, I'm physical. I'm physical. So I'm like, you want to like throw up? Or yeah. So I'm like, okay, my classic instinct is get the pot or whatever. Dude, I get him like, you know the big pots that you like make pasta sauce in?
Yeah.
So
No,
that you boil the water in?
I don't understand till this day why you went. It's like the soup, you know, when you're doing a nice
Your mother
broth,
cooks in there. Why are you giving it to throw up in?
like a serious broth.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
the big ones,
Like,
bro.
yeah, or chadron.
Oh, chadron. Yeah.
Dude,
That's
this
what it
guy
is.
threw up in he
The
filled
entirety
the
of it.
entire pot with throw up. He yacked
the
his
rim.
mind, yeah.
To the rim.
So-
to the rim.
In our infinite wisdom, we knew he was working the next day. We knew he was tired. He was drunk. He had passed out. We had a marker on us. So we started drawing on his face. The classic move, you know? We draw on his face and we're laughing. We drew like a dick on his head. We drew like I'm a fucking idiot on his forehead or some shit. So I slept with Dave in the spare room. He had passed out on the couch. So the next morning at like 7:30 in the morning, he woke up because he had to leave to go to work. So as he woke up, we woke up to his alarm. And so me and Dave, we look at each other like we start laughing like he's going to realize it. So we hear him get up. Gets up. Boom, 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 boom. Walks to the bathroom. Opens the door. Opens the faucet. And you can tell the faucet opens. So he did this. Looked up. Looks in the mirror. All you hear from the bathroom. What the fuck is on my face?
He couldn't get it off.
He had a marker all over his face.
Permanent marker. Permanent black marker on my
First
face.
day on the job.
First day on
Did
the
you go
job.
to work?
Of course.
You went to work.
I went to work and with like a little bit of like fading of like a cock on my head.
And you know what? They accepted him like that. They'll accept him anyway.
Yeah.
What did your boss tell you?
No, nothing. I mean, no one like it was like
Just
very
walking.
like it was like barely visible. But like me knowing that it was there before,
Yeah.
going in the mirror and seeing it, I could tell. But you are like, or else you wouldn't be able
It's
to
like if I
like.
was your boss, I'd be like, yo, like, is that a fucking cock on your forehead? Bro? Like, what's going
The
on?
swastika. You ever see the? You ever watch
Swastika, yeah.
Bad Grandpa?
Yeah, swastika.
I think sometimes those moments, like when we were younger, man, I used to be able to get fucked up,
Yeah.
man, and go to work early.
But I shoved a full hot dog up Steve's ass one time. That's how we drew all over his face, bro. There was hot dogs. Like, let's see how many hot dogs we can shove up his ass, bro. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. We did the most, like, that's how drunk you are. Like, nothing makes sense, bro. You're just doing like n'importe quoi, you know?
This is what I mean when I say guys and girls are different. Girls will never do that. Oh my god, like Brittany was so drunk, I tried to see how far up her ass I could put a hot dog. Like, that's never gonna be a thing. We're so fucking weird as guys, dude. Where these are the things that we think
Bro, we're
about.
like literally like 10 guys around one passed out guy.
Put it higher, put it higher, put it higher. What the
It's like it's crazy, bro.
What the fuck?
But it's really funny.
We were talking about this before.
I find it hilarious, man. It's hilarious, bro.
Dave and I were talking about this before you got here, where we're like, our group of friends, we always say it, like, we're the huggers, we're very touchy-feely, you know? And he's like, I can name a bunch of guys, you know, Steve, Justin, all these guys, Sandro, where everyone's always going to be like, come in for the hug, you know what I mean? And it's funny because today, actually, I saw another, I guess, meme, or you can call it, or something on Instagram, where it was like the anatomy of a hug, and it made so much sense to me because it showed you two skeletons with their organs engaging in a hug, and you see that, like, the beauty in a hug is like, when you're hugging someone, my heart is aligned with your heart.
Holy fuck. Is it? No, it's impossible.
Yeah, so if I come to hug you,
because where's your heart?
it's always on the left.
okay,
chest,
you're
Yeah,
right?
chesticle to chesticle.
But if it was left to left, it's not.
So, like, if you're always coming in for the hug, right? So you're going like this, so your heart aligns with the other person's heart, and that's what makes it such a beautiful act.
Wow, not if you're taller like Josh, apparently. Bro.
Yeah, Josh is way taller.
He's taller, huh? He's taller, Josh.
His side of the bench is taller.
That's beautiful, though.
But a hug is like, even a handshake. It's very formal, but there's the handshakes where it's like, I'll let you into my bubble, and you kind of like lean over each other's shoulder. And
Well, there's a handshake that transforms into a hug.
Yeah, and
so-
then
The
it's
hand
a
hug.
kiss if you really want to.
No. But
Well, I mean,
you know, you guys, you know, like, even in high school, there was always like,
Always.
let's say, even people would be like pounded fit, and then you guys would always be like, coming for the hug. You know, Marco Pats. You make fun of me for saying it, but you guys were always like a hug, and you know what? That was friendship. Like, you even feel like more of that
bro.
connection.
Bro, we
that
used to be like
friendship,
10, 15 guys at a bus stop. Yeah, man, ciao. And we used to be like 15 emo
and
kids
you
just
hug
hugging
everyone,
each other,
Yeah.
bro. You're
Yeah.
like, what the
Just
fuck?
picture the bus driver like, hurry up,
Yeah,
get on the
hurry up.
bus.
Hurry up, you know?
We used to laugh at this in high school, you and I, actually, where there's 3 types of handshakes in our community. Like, in the Italian, there's the 3 types of handshakes.
Yeah.
There's the one where it's the guy comes in for the handshake, and as he goes for the handshake, he doesn't even look at you. Yeah, he looks around like someone's like out to get him, you know? So it says like, what's up, man? Hey, look, you're on. There's the second type of handshake where it's the what's up, man? And you go for the big one, and you go in for the hug. And then the third one was the guy who thinks he's just better than everybody. Pretend to give me a handshake.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I agree with him, because you know what? Sometimes you have to stand your ground, though.
Yeah, but like,
Because
just
someone's
give me a
gonna
handshake.
came. I know.
Just give me a
If-
handshake.
No, because you know what? Sometimes you happen at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, hey, what's up? It's too late.
Who's gonna cave first?
Who's gonna cave first?
But then there was that person that used to give you like 3 fingers.
yeah.
It's on. You know? It's like, I can't get more than 3 fingernails. Serious.
Honestly, what gets me the most nervous when someone shakes your hand and doesn't look at you.
Even cheers. Even when you cheers, like, you
Yeah.
know, these brewskis, which, you know, we should do a nice
Yeah.
little cheers,
Yeah.
actually.
To health, wealth, and a little bit of prosperity.
Oh, the prosperous.
Yeah, I need a beer too,
But
actually.
yeah, that was a cue. A cue to have a brewski and have a cheers.
And I opened it for you.
I was telling them before you got here, there's this new show that came out on Crave, actually. It's called Invincible. And it's about a father who's like, I guess, like a Superman. He's a superhero. And his son gets powers later on in life. And now he's like 20 or whatever, rather than getting the powers like 5 or 6. And he's now trying to teach his son how to like cope with like these powers and how to deal with being a superhero or whatever. And so I was like, wow, it's so fitting that I started watching that today. And then Lorenzo was coming on because I wanted to ask him about this like fatherhood.
Imagine your kid get superpowers.
I wish. I fucking wish. That'd be crazy, you know?
What would you wish for him to have?
To fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to fly?
Because
So, like-
I want him to take me to fucking fly.
Fly.
Bro, what if he's smaller than you? You know that you're not a small guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, strength and fly.
okay. If
Nah,
I pick
but
one,
now you have one or the other. You know what I mean? Imagine it's like, fly me here. Gotta lose some fucking weight, Dad. Gotta lose some fucking weight. Are you ready for the moment where your son starts to rip you? We all rip our parents. You know what I mean?
To like rip me in the sense of like, fuck you.
No,
like,
not fuck
like
you, but
joking,
like,
like,
yeah. Like
joking
I laugh at
shots.
my dad. I laugh at my dad
Ah.
all the time. You know what I mean? Like that. Like stop having. You don't need a Coca-Cola at 10:30 p.m. with your bowl of cereal.
Yeah, he
you know
does,
what I mean?
bro. Have some respect for your dad. That's number one.
All right.
I don't think my kid is ever gonna rip me because if he does, I'm ripping him right back.
Oh,
That's-
okay, there we go.
Yeah, you have to.
It's a decent,
100%.
it's a decent response.
Like, when do you think your son's gonna be like coming like with the bald jokes, for example? That like you have no hair. Shut the fuck up. You
But I
know?
tell him like, give it 2-3 years, and you're gonna be in the same position like me.
I made you. I made you.
Classic dad response.
That's a good one though.
Classic,
I like that.
Yeah.
know?
That's good.
That's
good.
the cause it's like that. But look at that pot you have on you. It's like, in 20, you're gonna look like me when you're older. So shut up.
Right, I better not be gutting like my dad when I'm his age. Fuck, not down. They'll have like massive. Like, what's with dads and massive stomachs?
They just don't give a fuck.
Do they have like a massive stomach club, bro? They just get together with their massive stomachs. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Just don't give a shit.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
They just don't care anymore.
It's
At a certain point, you stop having sex with your wife. Number one.
It's
You know what I mean? Like, I guess you still have sex to a certain degree, but I don't think it's like I need to rip your clothes off right now in the middle of the park sex anymore. It's like, okay, our kid's asleep. Okay, like,
It starts sooner than you think.
whoa. What's love got to do with it?
who needs a heart when a heart can't be broken?
Man, some serious pipes on Josh.
Jesus Christ, that was
You guys
a
didn't know this, huh?
That was a song, man. That was a serious song.
Fuck.
Actually, you know what I
Fucking,
learned about them today?
them too.
I didn't know the ratio was this strong. I'm hoping you're not joining their dark side.
What?
Okay?
I don't even know.
You
I
ready?
don't even know
You
what
ready
you're
for
gonna
this?
ask. Yeah.
I know where this is going.
They're good guys. I just can't trust them. You want to know why?
Why?
Because they put they put ketchup on their eggs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking twisted,
No,
bro.
that's fucking.
I
It's
Like-
amazing. It's amazing.
Tell me you put ketchup on your pâté chinois.
Yeah,
of course.
Don't tell me you put ketchup on your eggs.
You're French, bro. You put ketchup on your pâté chinois.
1,000%.
yeah. It's half
Good.
French.
Ha.
Yeah.
If I have a hash brown with scrambled eggs, I'm just putting.
Yeah, but
ketchup
that's
on
because the
all plate.
hash brown is there, bro. It's not the
Potato.
same.
Yeah, it's a potato.
It's a potato. It goes with ketchup. Fries with
Yeah.
ketchup makes
Yeah.
sense.
So does eggs, though.
You know what you do like
You smash
all
it.
over
yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah,
your
You
egg.
smash it
Yeah.
after with a fork. Always a fork.
Yeah,
That's weird,
scrambled
bro.
eggs.
That's like
dude?
yolk and ketchup.
I won't put it in an. I won't put it in an egg sandwich.
I put like
No,
Frank's
no.
Red Hot on my eggs. That's good.
I'm hungry now.
Okay. That's good.
I don't like
Okay,
spicy.
Just like ketchup.
My ketchup is weird.
You're not a bad person, guys. I just can't trust
Why
you.
is that considered weird, though?
It's weird, bro.
I don't get why that's
like
considered
go
weird.
show Gordon Ramsay that you're putting ketchup on your
Yeah,
eggs.
dude. If I show anything I eat to Gordon Ramsay, he's gonna fucking get angry at me, dude.
But you know what, Josh? I'm sure we're not the only ones.
We're not, dude. It's
No,
very
I've
fitting.
seen
that
it.
What do
we're-
you think
There's
the
a
average
lot
is?
of
Like
people
right now
that
we're 4
put
people.
eggs.
We're 2 on 2.
Yeah,
I
we're
really think it's
50%.
like I think it's like 30. I
No,
think,
she doesn't do that, so we win, bro. We're good. We're
Damn it,
majority.
Andrew.
I think it's like 25%. If there's 4 people, there would normally be 1 person.
Should do
Yeah.
a poll
One
after on
person.
Instagram.
We
Who puts
should.
ketchup on
we
your
fucking
eggs?
should. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's what we're gonna
What do
do.
you think the majority is?
I'm gonna
honestly,
go like 60-40, bro. I'm gonna say like I don't know 65-35. That's my final answer.
I'm gonna say 60-40 for the ketchup.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying 65-35. No ketchup.
Really?
Yeah.
You know how many people are gonna see the post and
Optimistic.
say "ew ketchup" before they even see what it is?
Yeah, they don't even answer. They say,
Like,
"Ew."
that I can't stand. I feel like that's my pet peeve.
What?
When a girl's talking, like most of the time it's a girl, I would say. No, it's true. 100%. 100%. Could be from like sisters to cousins to friends. Ew before the sentence even starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, look at the color of that wall. Ew. Like, why did he choose that color? Like, why ew at the beginning? I'm even standing up now. I'm standing up.
dude, we
Hey,
used to
I'm
talk about
triggered.
this in high school. You DM a girl, or you in that age, it's like you try to talk to somebody, and the response,
Ew.
ew, what in God's name did I do that was so disgusting?
So
that,
brutal.
That gave you the urge to tell me, ew. Ew is reserved for like I shat in front of you and you smell my shit. Yeah. Ew is reserved for like I took a maggot and put it in your sandwich. Ew is not reserved for me being like, oh my God, you're a really cute girl. Like we should go out for dinner. Ew. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What did I do that was so ew? I didn't do anything that was that ew.
Like, I didn't like the singing when people speak. Like, oh my God. Right? Like, and we know a lot of that. But the ew before the sentence for me takes the throne. So if you don't say ew before you speak, but you sing, I'll sing with you.
It's a classic chick thing.
What if they say ill in song?
Ew. Ah.
What do you mean?
Like they're saying ill, but like that's not like how Josh
Yeah,
just
but
did.
that's no.
That's
No, I'm telling you 2 evils. I'm telling you the lesser of 2 evils. But telling me to combine 2 evils, we're still at an evil place here. We didn't advance anywhere.
that's
I still
evil-
don't-
that's
it's
evil
2 pet
squared.
peeves.
So if
Yeah.
you multiply 2 evils, do you get a good?
2 negatives don't always make a positive.
They don't,
what I'm saying.
they don't. They don't. That was a classic chick thing. The ew and the oh my God.
Oh my God, it's
I
classic,
always
though.
laugh at this because I always say like girls have different emotions that they can convey with the same 3 words.
Because bro, they're so dramatic about their answer.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Like, bro, just
Oh
say
my
no.
god can mean so many. Like, if you have a transcript, that oh my god could mean so many different things. Guy pulls his dick out, there's like, oh my god. It's like, oh my god, like she's really repulsed.
Yeah.
Guy pulls his dick out, she's like, oh my god. She's really into it. Guy pulls his dick out, she's like, oh my god. She's surprised at the girth. You know, like there's just different. There's so many different like ways that oh my god can be interpreted. Where it's like, oh my god, she's angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is oh my god, she's happy.
Disappointed.
It's- oh my god.
It's like that's like you have a small little dick.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god. Like, do guys have that same thing? Do guys have like a one-liner that like it can just mean anything? But like, dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you mean like for a
Dude,
girl, if there's one thing that we say,
Like girls, it's oh my god, guys. It's like something really bad happens and you're angry, like dude, or it's like something really surprising, dude.
I think us it's what the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
us, it's what the
exactly.
fuck.
What the
That's
fuck.
the
Us,
one that
it's
we
what
can
the
take to
fuck.
any
Yeah.
level. Like, what the fuck?
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when you're really happy, what?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That you're really surprised.
Yeah, exactly. If you're really angry, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what the fuck.
Or if you're like curious, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Yeah. There's that way. That's
There you
good.
go. See, you guys got it.
That's good.
That's definitely ours.
Again, it's a 3-letter fucking acronym. Bro.
Yeah, dude. It's literally like the vocal like inflection that you use is what dictates like what emotion you're trying to convey. What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
You smell. Oh, what the fuck? I always say it, man. We're like, as humans, man, like people always try to say like women this, men this, whatever. We're all fucked up, man. We're all so we're all just strange people trying to live and fuck and breathe. You know what I mean? Like
Mostly fuck, then breathe.
yeah.
That's how it usually
Yeah.
works.
Love first, then purpose, right? That's
Yeah,
what I said?
and then breathing apparently.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Before we wrap this one up, I just want to get into our weekly segment that we like to call
Really right. Fuck.
"Really Right Fuck." You guys know what "really right fuck" is?
Yeah.
You know what "really
Well,
right
right
fuck
in, no?
Some
Yeah.
write-ins.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm so proud of you,
A
bro.
couple of write-ins.
Who else?
So
Who
people write in their topics.
I love doing these with, like,
advice.
guests.
Yeah, topics,
This is fun.
advice, questions, whatever the case may be. And in our stupidity, we try to answer them to the best of our ability. So there's one hilarious one and one actually that's very philosophical. So I'm going to start with the philosophical one since it's been a very philosophical podcast.
It has.
If you could have the answer to one question in the world, any question, what would that question be?
Is there an afterlife?
Yeah. What would yours be?
I don't know. Look, you know what? I'm
Because
gonna,
that
I'm gonna
changes
phone a
everything,
friend.
bro.
I'm not phone a friend. I'm gonna just skip it over to a friend. Lorenzo, I feel like has an answer, and I'm scared. Scared to hear.
No,
it.
no. It's me. It's simple. Do aliens exist?
Really? Like, of all the questions, like that's the one you would want to know?
That's the fucking
Okay.
one.
Why though? How come?
It's fucking aliens. Are you serious?
Like, but I mean, like, knowing the answer to that question, would that then change something about your life or how you live it?
Of course.
Yeah. Like
Of
what?
course.
I'm not judging. I'm curious.
If aliens are confirmed, like if aliens exist and it's confirmed and it's like a known thing, everything we do in life in general, it's like it's no more.
Religion.
It's like everything.
Yeah.
It's no more just the planet Earth, right? It's like it's the fucking universe, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Am I the only one or?
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, for
Yeah.
sure.
It's like when you meet somebody and you're like, oh, you didn't go to my high school. So,
Yeah,
oh, you're from another high school.
There's
That's
other high
happened.
schools in the
Other
world.
high schools? Jesus Christ.
The fuck?
There's other girls than just the people who live on my street? Like, oh my God. I would go with Do It Justice, though. Honestly, is the afterlife thing, and I'll explain it a little bit
Yeah,
after.
it
But
changes
what would
Is
yours
there
be?
an afterlife? Yeah, it's a good one. I think like you want to know more moving forward, and you too. Like I think I would want to know going back. Like, have I done this before? Have I been here before? You
So
know
you
what I
mean like is there reincarnation?
Yeah,
Reincarnation,
yeah. You know, like sometimes you get some major, call it a deja vu. I don't know what it is. They're saying parallels, all of that. But like, you think like if you've done this before, if so, what was my past?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What are some flashes that you get? And I don't know why
You just asked
it
like
sounded
5
so
questions,
deep.
though. You gotta pick one.
No, but just
Pick
really.
one, bro.
For me, it was really more like have I done this before? Oh, sorry, have I done this before? Yeah, no, I was just really I was
But-
pondering.
But I read that a deja vu, it's caused by a lapse in your brain that controls your memory. that it's part of your memory. So when you're experiencing a deja vu, it's the same sensation as having a memory.
Ooh, and that actually makes a lot of sense.
That's what a deja vu is. That's what I read is.
Deja vu.
It's like you're experiencing the same feelings of experiencing a memory, but it's not really something that you know.
It's such a strange thing in like human behavior where it's like, oh my god, a deja vu. Like, it's when the deja vu does happen, you're so convinced that this has happened.
No, you're
before.
like in it. You're like,
because you're
Like,
feeling
this
a
happened
memory.
before.
You're
Yeah,
feeling
like
the
that.
same
And
feelings
some
of a
people who
memory.
believe in reincarnation or afterlife or whatever are like, or dimensional differences are like, a deja vu is basically something that's happened in another life or in an alternate reality or something, like there exists in their mind. And I don't know whether that's true or false, but there exists alternate realities where a decision you made in that reality, you made the opposite decision, and now that stems off into like another timeline, I guess you could say, or another alternate universe or an alternate reality. But the reason why I would go with the knowing if there's an afterlife is, one, I think that dictates what is, again, full circle, what is your purpose in life?
listen, man. If there's a heaven, like we have to start being good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're all gonna go to fucking hell. Bro. Let's be honest.
We have to start being good people.
We're all gonna go to hell.
I don't give a
because
shit if I'm bad until the moment where I realize there is a heaven. Then maybe I'll start being good.
It's like shit. Now we have to really like step it up a little bit, because it changes everything, man. You're gonna start doing more things because you don't wanna burn in hell for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's true, man. You're gonna change the way you are.
What if hell's just like a massive party, dude?
What if it's like mental?
Yeah,
Then
what
you
if
go
it's
to
sick?
you go to heaven
Yeah.
and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's boring, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
fuck,
you
sure the hell.
ever have a class in high school and you're with all like the goody two shoes kids and you're like, dude, like there's no fun in this class.
Yeah, it
and then you have the
sucks.
class right after the next period and it's all the troublemakers and you guys are just having a good time. You're laughing. Our math class in like Sec 4, like it was a good time. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just a troublemaker. You're like, this is fun, man. Like fuck
Yeah.
it. Everyone's doing drugs. Everyone's drinking at a party. It's a good party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe hell's like that. The devil's like, guys, just come, man. Don't
Just come
worry about it.
vibe, you
Just
know?
come vibe, man. Just come and chill.
Yeah.
I mean, you want a joint? Here, have some weed, man.
You think God chills like that?
Probably not.
Oh yeah, on the 7th day he rested.
Yeah.
The fuck you think
Yeah.
he did? He smoked a fatty to his brains and he chilled. But we put the narrative as he rested.
Yeah. All week he's a fucking tight ass, and the 7th day he's like, all right, guys, now you can relax. You know what I mean? Like now you can fuck or whatever. Like imagine like having there's no premarital, like you can't have premarital sex in heaven. Can you have sex in heaven?
No, God's watching you,
He's
bro.
watching
He's
you the
like,
whole
he's
time.
actually
Yeah.
watching you
He's
now.
watching you the whole time.
Fuck.
And so like if you're married and you go to heaven, you die before your wife or you die before your husband, and you go to heaven and you meet this guy like fucking, I don't know, Johnny Cash, dude, and he's like really into you, and you want to fuck him. You're like, God's gonna be like, no.
Are you cheating on your husband, bro?
Well, no, because it's death do us part. So only death will do us part. Right? That's the whole thing.
So you're pretty much saying like you can fuck another guy like once I'm dead.
Yeah. So if you're married and your wife or your husband,
It's in the black and white, bro. It's in the
it's in
black
the
and
fine
white.
print. It's in the fine print.
You just commit, bro. You go to heaven. You're like fuck this. That's terrible.
If you're married and your wife or your husband dies before you, that's why you're allowed to go date again, because death did you part.
Yeah.
Death did you part.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I
bro.
mean?
Yeah.
Death did you. It did you the part. The
Yeah.
parting.
Forever.
Forever.
Even forever. Don't seem like long enough.
But that's like the idea of, is there an afterlife? I've always been a firm believer. Well, not a firm believer, I wouldn't say, but I think that there is reincarnation. And one of the most random things, but that describes it, I think, the best. You like Logic, right? You listen to Logic. Everybody here knows who Logic is. Logic has an album, and in between the times where he's constantly rapping about being half black and half white, he talks about a.
Like we get it.
Yeah, we
You're
get it.
half black. And
We
half
get
white.
it. You're racially mixed.
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? It's like Demi Lovato. Like someone was talking to me about it the other day, and I'm like, I feel like it's for the last 10 years that I've been hearing about this girl having like a heroin problem. Like,
It's like,
I get
we get it. You do heroin.
We get it.
Yeah.
You did drugs. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You went
Yeah.
to rehab. I get it. You want to base your celebrity off of something else now? Like, I get it. You know what I mean?
It's true though.
Anyway, so Logic in one of his albums, he's talking. He has a skit or an interlude in the album where Neil deGrasse Tyson several interludes in that album actually. Neil deGrasse Tyson plays the role of what would be considered God, I guess, in that scenario. And the interlude talks about how when you die, you go to this limbo state, I guess you can call it, this in-between dimension where you meet God, who would be the Neil deGrasse Tyson in that situation. And what happens is that you get reincarnated from the moment you die until after the moment you're in the limbo space. You forget your past life, you forget the limbo stage, but you become another person from another time, from another gender, from another race, from another sexual orientation, whatever the case may be. And only when you've lived every single race, gender, creed, sexual orientation, whatever it is, will you then transcend into what's considered, I guess, nirvana.
Well, listen. At this point, how many he's and she's are there? You have to go through how many of them now?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
58.
And the reason that they explain,
fucked.
the reason they explain that being the case is that only after you've lived the life of everybody in history will you have enough. Because when you're in the limbo state, you remember everything. Will you then have enough knowledge and enough wisdom to know what the purpose and the true meaning of life is and what the universe has in store for everybody, because you lived every single life. You've lived a life as a black man. You've lived a life as a white man. You've lived a life as a black woman.
But are those like for lessons to be taught to you of
To
like
learn
how
the
it's
lesson.
like to be with
Yes.
this person or this person or this person?
Exactly. You've lived a life as
Poor,
a gay
rich,
person. Exactly.
gay,
And so once
whatever.
you've lived the life of everybody, you remember everything in that limbo stage, and you then transcend into what's considered nirvana or heaven, having built up all this wisdom through millennia of a life and living. And so that's where the heaven is. And I always thought like, wow, that is so fucking deep for a hip hop album. And I'm like, that makes so much, I don't want to say sense, but like it really
No,
makes
it
you
makes
think.
sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't really think it's like probable, to be honest. That's just my opinion.
But you have to believe in like, not you have to believe. You can believe in whatever you want to, but you have to believe in like spirit and soul. I'll tell you why. Like I had a hockey coach. He's still alive to this day. He died 3 times.
Was this the one
Was
from
our
Best
coach.
Buy?
No,
Oh.
it was my hockey coach.
Okay.
And he died 3 times. The first time he passed away, and he was on top of his family.
I just want to say before you go,
Yeah.
Lorenzo, this is what, your third piss?
It's my second.
He's
He
crazy.
broke the
Got
seal,
bladder
dude. He broke the
I
seal.
even told you.
Yeah.
But he was floating on top of his family, and he saw like his family hovering around his body. And then for some reason, like he can't explain what he was doing in that moment. He can just tell you what he saw. He just gets sucked back into his body. The second time, he goes, I had the white blanket over me. They were taking me down in
But
the
what
elevator
happened? Like, how
to
did
the
he
morgue.
die?
He has like a condition,
Okay.
right? Just to
Okay.
keep it bright. Like it's a condition where even now, he even says, I'm lucky to be alive. That's why he coaches. He likes to just be around
Be
people, try and
involved.
give
Yeah.
back as much
Yeah.
as he can until his time expires, right? But that's got to tell you something.
Yeah.
You know, like even now, if you close your eyes, you say something, you can say something, say beyond the bench. You can hear yourself saying it.
Yeah.
You're speaking to something. There's something there. There's a soul. This is your temple. And I'm not going to start getting all into that because I'm not even all into that. But you have to believe that there's something
There's something there.
And you're looking to
Yeah.
fulfill something. So do you fulfill it with true love or purpose?
Yeah, you know what? There's actually a story like that too that I want to get into quickly. I'm not gonna say names, but I do believe in that because one of my good friends that happened to their father, and when he was in high school, he was on the way to school with his friend in a car. They got into a really, really bad car accident, and they both died. And he remembers, and he tells me to this day, he's like, I remember clearly as day there was like a tunnel, and his friend was going through the tunnel, going to heaven or going up, and he was telling him like, stay back, like it's not your time. And he was trying to go up with his friend, gets his friend, and he was telling him like, no, stay back. And he ended up, I guess, walking back, and he ended up surviving. His friend actually died in the car crash, and he was alive. But like, yeah, you know, so like when people tell you these stories, unless it's all, you know, chemicals in your brain that are releasing these things, it's like,
That's like the scientific point of view of that, yeah.
I think
It's
life is a
fucked.
tunnel.
it's fucked.
Listen to this analogy. Life is one big tunnel. When you're going through your own shit and you're trying to just find your way and do your own stuff, you're walking in a dark tunnel. And what happens in this dark tunnel? Once in a while, you're coming across a light bulb. And what happens? You get to the light bulb, you chill around that light, right? It could be a partner, it could be a venture, it could be a friend. You're there, you're liking this light, but you're still in this tunnel at the end of the day.
You have to get out of it.
So what you decide, sometimes even friendships, we could be close for a couple of years, but sometimes depending on where you move, where you go, we lose touch. So what do? We leave that light that we had and we keep walking in that tunnel. And then we find another light. And you keep doing that repeatedly over and over until eventually, hopefully, those lights just helped you, give you courage for the next time you had to go in darkness for a while to eventually get out. So it's like, yeah, it's very deep.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, it's a constant tunnel that you're in and you need to have that tunnel vision. So that's the pep talk I would give anyone. Cheers.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
Well,
back.
Hey, how was your piss?
Oh, hey, Lorenzo, how's it going?
What's up, guys? Hey.
How you doing?
Well, yeah, like I don't know if did you ever watch the new Disney movie? It's called Soul. Jamie Foxx plays the guy. It's a guy basically who like all his life has been a jazz musician, and his dream has been to become a famous jazz musician or play music. And right when he gets his big break, he falls down a sewer and dies. And what the rest of the movie is about is basically his soul not wanting to go towards the light, and he falls into the dimension that's known as the soul creation.
Is this a new movie?
Yeah, it's really good, man. I thought it was amazing. And so basically in that dimension, it's where all the unborn souls get their personality. So whether they're, I don't know, like they like basketball, or they like music, if they're nice, if they're mean, if they're type A personality, if they're type B personality. And so what happens is people who have lived before teach unborn souls how to gain their passion or their purpose in life, you know? And so the whole thing is he ends up training this girl this soul who never found her purpose after having been taught by like Beethoven and like Aristotle and all these different souls, you know? And it just teaches him that like your purpose is your purpose, but if you focus too heavily on trying to attain that purpose, you'll never fully enjoy the rest of your life. And throughout the whole movie, he realizes through this soul that he's trying to teach as they both go to Earth together, as she's like, oh my God, like a pizza tastes so good. Oh my God, like the wind feels so good on my face. And he's like, all these little things make life what it is.
Yeah.
It's not you achieving your goal or your dream. It's the handshake I give to my best friend, the hug I give to my mom, the relationships I build throughout my life, having my son. You know what I mean? Getting married or whatever.
It's like he's your son.
Yeah.
Having my son.
You know, son.
You just pulled a Martins moment on it. It's like, this is my son.
Having my son.
But
You
you're
know,
right.
he says, hey, he's stupid. He does stupid things, but he's my son.
But you're right, bro. People are too focused on the end goal, and they don't enjoy the journey enough.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are focused on the end, and even in business and things like that, like people have their dreams and I want to attain this and I want to attain that, but it's like people lose focus on like the right now.
Yeah,
and you can't get there without the right now.
It's
you
the
know?
journey that counts.
It's the journey, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you're saying handshakes or building relationships or having a girlfriend and or making friends and whatever, man, whatever it is, new jobs that come and go, bro. It's all part of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
It
It's super
sucks.
important.
You never know you're having a good time until it's done. Like even now, right now, this is a memory for me. This is gonna be a memory, but right now it's not a memory. I'm experiencing it. In a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 years from now, I'll look back. Me and Lorenzo were here with you guys, right?
No,
I always say that shit, man. Like, how many times you're like, oh, I remember when we were like fucking 18 and we did this, or like all the stories you're saying about Lori, like, I don't know, driving your dad's car or puking. It's like, in 5 years, we're gonna be saying this. Remember when we were on the podcast with fucking Dave and Lori T? You know, like these are all, it's all part of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like people they associate memories also always with like me included, like being young and like doing things like that, but it's like, bro, we're always
Right now.
living.
We're living memories.
It's right now,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know,
It's like having a kid, dude, man. It's like when they're 30, it's nice to have your kid and he's 30 and he's self-sufficient and he can live on his own and you're proud of him, but it's all about the journey. You raised this child. You raised him. Everything, or for a lot of what he believes, a lot of what his values and his morals are and what he does in life and the way he treats other people is because you taught him the way to do it. You know what I mean? And that's what's crazy about parenthood, man. You know, like...
Man, like every moment that I have with my son, it's like I realize that and I take it in.
Yeah.
Like when I have him in my arms and he looks at me and he smiles, it's like I take it in, man.
And then he shits and you're like...
And then he
yeah,
shits
then
out
he
the
shit
baby.
and it smells and like you shout
It is
over
what it is, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You gag when you have to change the diaper.
Honestly, at the beginning, yes, I fucking
get
freaked the
used to
fuck
It's
out.
like what a beautiful moment where it's like, oh, what a, like my son is so beautiful.
But-
And he just
but apparently it gets worse when he starts eating like the mushy food because now he's just on milk, right? So apparently it gets worse when he starts eating mushy food.
That Gerber food.
So I'm just waiting for that day. You
one
know?
day
I'm
your
just-
son's gonna literally just puke all over you. You're gonna be holding your
No,
son.
he did. He
and-
did
oh,
already.
okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. That's like right away off the bat. Yeah,
Day
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
All right, to end this, we're going to go one last question on the really right fuck.
One last question.
To keep in line with the stupidity of what this podcast actually is. If your dick can make one sound when it gets hard, what would be the sound that you would want your dick to make?
Hello. Hey there.
Really, like it has to speak.
That's sweet, bro. I'm ready.
But like, wait, British accent, like Scottish. Is it Scottish? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, how does that have to
It
be?
could be whatever you want. It could be like a noise of like maybe a raindrop. Bloop. It could be whatever you want.
That sounds like
Yeah.
that doesn't sound good. Actually,
No, it
you go to a washroom.
I don't
What would
know.
yours be? It gets hard.
I don't
It
know.
goes-
I like the katana sword coming out of the thing.
Oh, that's badass.
not bad, it's
Fuck,
not bad,
That's
yeah.
Something
badass.
like that. Yeah.
For me, it's ta-da-na-na, ta-da-ta-ta,
I thought it was gonna go Black and Larry.
That's amazing.
Can I tell you mine?
man. Yeah.
You ever play GameCube?
But like your dick has to do that too.
Yeah.
And it just
Nintendo.
slaps on it.
This boner brought to you by Nintendo.
Everyone's the TSN.
I would have my cock out all the time, bro. That was my
all the
song.
time.
Sports Center. Ba-da-da.
You know those annoying cards that you get that whenever they're open, they keep repeating the song. That's what you're gonna have.
No problem.
Every time. It just keeps going in a loop.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Oh yeah, it's true. But
Part of the game.
hold that thought.
The what?
hold
The
on.
what?
We play a game every week
Don't
on
look
the
at his
podcast.
computer.
No, he can't see it anyway. We play a game every week on the podcast where we guess how long we've
Quick
been
game.
recording for.
Quick game. I go with the sun and the
my
way
phone.
Yeah.
it's setting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but see, you have Aristotle views over here. So what are you guessing? Come
I'm gonna go at least 2 hours and 1 minute.
Oh, yeah?
You're surpassing
Yeah.
You're surpassing surpassing what?
the 2 hour time frame by a minute. He's like, he just did a $1, Bob. He's playing prices right. He didn't want to go 200 and bid 200. 201, Bob.
We do. By the way, we do prices right rules. I feel like we never like established this. We do
Prices
prices
Right
right
over,
rules.
no
If
bueno.
you're over, yeah,
No
no bueno.
bueno.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say an hour 49 minutes.
Okay, Lorenzo,
I was going to say an hour 46.
Go with your gut, bro.
what's your gut, man?
What you gonna do now?
An hour 46. Fuck it.
I'm gonna go an hour and 53.
You look at the
minutes.
answer.
I don't know. I don't see it.
yeah,
An hour
okay.
53. Oh my God! Wow, an hour 41 minutes, and so Lorenzo wins.
What's my prize, Bob? What's my prize?
Could you imagine? Come on down and kick out this fucking cock, bro. This is the song that comes on. That'd be great.
And that's when Tina Turner comes out.
What's love got to do? Got to do.
Okay, you win. What do you win?
The fuck do I win, guys? Tell me.
Got Tina Turner's debut album.
You win. I don't know if you win. You win love, bro, from me. But you already had my
But I
love,
already
so you don't
had-
win that.
That's
That's
it.
stupid.
That's it.
That's stupid.
You did good, Lorenzo.
You know what I want? High fives. All right. High fives.
There you go. That's a good.
In the eyes.
And yeah.
In the eyes. In the eyes.
Oh, I want to trick, by the way. I was
looking
looking
at
at
the
the elbow. It's a good trick. Follow the elbow. Follow the elbow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much
Good
for
time.
tuning into this week's episode 79
Thank
Beyond
you.
the Bench, the podcast about everything and absolutely. The
Absolutely.
podcast about everything and absolutely nothing. The podcast where we're four guys who know absolutely nothing about anything except what touches our men lives. Thank you for tuning in. Join us next week. If you want to catch us on the socials at Beyond the Bench 3, you can catch us on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, as I always forget to say at the beginning,
I said you forgot.
like, subscribe to the fucking channel. And every time I do say this, we do get a couple of more subscribers. So subscribe to the fucking channel.
Yeah.
Hit the notifications if you want to be notified as to when and where we post videos about us talking nonsense. And Justin's going to tell you about the website that we've created not too long ago.
We have a website, www, which stands for World Wide Web.
World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dot beyond the bench
Dot.
.ca.
Dot,
What
which
the-
stands
yeah,
for a
I'm sick
period.
blank about websites. Yeah, we have like merch. Okay, most importantly though, we have just amazing content with our
Yeah.
friends here.
Yeah. What are
You know.
boys and girls?
With our boys, we have a nice little guest page, which you guys are going to be on.
Yes.
Little guest page.
I like that.
to-
I like
together.
that. That's nice. That's nice.
We have merch. We have videos, behind the scenes shit. Just go look and you'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just purchase some merch.
Just purchase your merch.
Purchase the merch.
Just purchase your merch, man.
Just perch some fucking
There you go.
merch.
I want to give a shout out to my friend, and you're gonna do it since you're here. We're gonna give a shout out to Interdeco Blinds. Let's do it.
That's Jog, no?
Yeah.
Interdeco blinds. The fuck you looking at?
I love it. That's it. That's it.
Guys, tune in next week. We'll have next week's episode 80. I just want to give a last word to Dave and Lorenzo. Dave, do you have anything you want to plug, shout out, anything you want to Papa Doc.
No, I mean the whole thing from the beginning. Nothing's been scripted, so it was a pleasure speaking to you guys, shooting the shits, talking about some of the things we talked about. To me, it was a regular day with the boys, and that's what I love about this show. Your show.
Thank you.
Congrats. Keep on doing what you're doing, Josh. You've always had a passion for this. To see you doing this full throttle is something that I love to see you thriving, finding your purpose. Justin, yourself as well. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you have a lot less to say about."
No, I don't care, bro. Let's go, man. I want to smoke a joint with you,
but
bro.
every time we're together, we spend, and we just talk around like this. It's always a pleasure. Leo, I'm always gonna shout out to you. You were part of this original crew, so guys, keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank God you're gone, though. You're a fucking loser.
And God bless.
Larry T, is there anything you want to say to your child 18 years from now?
I love you.
Oh my God.
Papa.
Spit a verse.
There's no chance. There's no chance. There's no chance.
I'm showing your kid this video at 18 years old.
100%.
Yeah, it's no problem. It's no problem. Just Piet.
You can't even stay serious.
I'm fucking sweet. But to you guys, for real, thanks for having me and Dave. 100%.
Yeah,
It's
the last time, bro. So make it. I'm joking.
Tell the wife I say hi.
Me, I just want to shout out Fire Blitz.
This is for you, Perry.
Okay, gotta go clean the cake on the walls now.
Yeah, sure. That's the story.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in this week. Episode 79, Beyond the Bench, podcast about everything and absolutely nothing. April 18th, 2021. Stay golden, even though your name is not Ponyboy.
That's it. It's also 420 on Tuesday.
It also is 420.
Just to
on
say.
Tuesday.
Just to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.